Fuck. I don't know why it's doing this. It's live again, so.
Okay. Rockman killed the stream. Naughty Dog with the strikes. To be fair, if it was Naughty Dog, I have the article up on stream.
I don't.
I would be the one taken down. It's fine. I had my stream take a shit like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it's fine. Oh, all right. He said we don't use fun or something like that. All that tells me is he loves his farts. Oh God. Oh no. Oh God. Damn it, Druckmann. Yeah, no one likes Druckmann.
Nobody's liked him for sadly a long time. Well, I mean, sadly if you don't like him, or you do like him, but not a lot of people have liked him for a while. My apologies, I'm now salty.
Nah, it happens. You're good.
It's not supposed to happen, that's the thing.
Are you still in? Yeah, you are. Okay, I just want to make sure you're still in that lobby. Cool. All right, shall we resume, chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Where were we? Joe Pantolino will play Eugene, a Part 2 character who players only hear about in the game when Ellie and her friend Dana, played by Isabel Merced on the show, finds his abandoned cannabis den. Similar to Season 1's beloved Bill and Frank standalone episode. Yeah, beloved. The gay couple. The 2 gay guys in the middle of the zombie apocalypse.
I mean, you're allowed to be gay in the zombie apocalypse, you just gotta have your priorities straight.
Yeah, they were very gay. Mason saw the foregrounding of Eugene as another chance to expand the story's scope beyond the game. Druckmann loved the idea. I get excited when I see these opportunities, he says. I'm like, oh, I don't know Eugene that well. The story we told in the game was somewhat superficial. The way this character comes in really gets to the heart of Joel and Ellie and their relationship. 6 years and 1 real-life pandemic later, Mason still marvels at how willing, even eager, Druckmann has been to deconstruct a story he's devoted so much of himself to bringing to life. You are unique in this way, and I'm deeply grateful for it, Mason says to Druckmann, before turning back to me. He understands the value of invention, reinterpretation, addition, change. Then to Druckmann, you always say what you want to do, whether will make the best show. Sorry, you always say you want to do whatever will make the best show. Okay. Druckmann shrugs. I enjoy a good brainstorm. Priorities straight? I doubt it. The gay couple that never was in the game, by the way. They were never in the game. They made a gay couple for the show.
Oh, no, yeah, it sucks then. Sorry. It's not part of the source material, then it's a forced EI thing.
Yep. And it was 2 gay guys. It wasn't 2 gay women. It was 2 gay white guys.
Why they gotta be white?
I think the only reason it wasn't 2 gay black guys is because that would have been way too obvious.
It's already pretty obvious.
Here's the sad part. There were rumors after season 1 came out that they were going to make a second show specifically around these 2 characters.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What content do they have for these characters? I'm confused. Bill was gay in the game, but it wasn't in your face. Okay.
Yeah, I believe Bill was in the game, but the other character was not. You know what that feels like to me? It feels like having been in the Sonic roleplay sphere many years ago.
Yeah.
I want to clarify the many years ago part.
Yeah.
Where you'd have the actual character
You ain't getting out of
in
this
a
one, buddy.
relationship with a fan character.
Okay.
That's what it feels like, where it feels like Bill was in the game. This other character was not. He's just an OC made by the creators of the show and said, what if we shipped them? That's what that feels like. In the game, it's two gay dudes, and you discover a letter that was left for the second guy in which he discloses his love.
Interesting. The Sonic what? That's for another day, chat.
That's for another day. Anyway, the man in this textbook study in contrast, where Mason, 53, is voluble, demonstrative, and abashedly neurotic. Druckmann, 46, can be Sphinx-like in his measured calm. That's a term?
Sphinx-like. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
What do they mean by this?
Specifically, Sphinx-like. What? I'm so... Never mind. I'm not
Don't
gonna
try to
that.
understand it, because you're going to get confused.
But they share an abiding confidence in their own storytelling instincts and each other's, like casting Catherine O'Hara as Joel's therapist in Jackson, Wyoming community, where Joel and Ellie have lived for 5 years since the events of the season 1 finale, something Mason had wanted to do from the start. There was a scene early in season 1 where Joel met with a therapist in the QZ, I'm guessing quarantine zone, in Boston. Pascal says via email, I found it a beautiful way into the character and the walls that are guarding his traumas and losses. The scene was ultimately cut before Pascal got to shoot it, and he was like, that's half the reason I'm here.
I'm trauma bonding with my character, guys. You don't understand. That's actually something that exists, by the way, chat. People actually act like that.
Mm-hmm. Mason recalls, but the showrunner had always intended to return to the idea for season 2. Therapy is a fantastic mirror to say not just what are you really thinking, but what people are refusing to talk about, he says. They also embrace the deep estranglement between Joel and Ellie that opens part 2, a divide that Pascal says was painful to experience. While Bella and I are forever joined, to not have them near me for every part of season 2 felt like a cruel separation. He says, good for my codependent nature, bad for my heart. Oh, wow.
Thank you for the 5.
Wow.
Gotta make sure the Yippee stop chewing on the wires. Well, we'll have to make sure that the one that is sent back to the ranch.
Yes, trauma dumping. Exactly. It felt like Ellie maturing and growing up. Ramsey says of the split, me and Pedro were with each other literally through everything, all the time, the whole first season. This season was much more of an isolated one for Ellie. It was a lonelier experience, but I don't say that in a negative way. It's only when I bring up the character of Abby that Mason and Druckmann evince any apprehension about changes they've made between the game and the show. The character is much more muscular in part 2 than Dever is on season 2. Sorry, much more muscular in part 2 than Dever is in season 2. With the violence markedly cut down from the game, the showrunners say the need for Abby to be so imposing wasn't as critical.
Wait, they toned down the violence? Seriously?
Apparently.
But violence is all that people... That's half the reason why people like zombie shows, is the violence. Gay and retarded is what it is, chat. Gay and
More
retarded.
importantly, Druckmann says, Caitlin Dever wanted to work with us. We wanted to work with her. It's not worth passing it up to continue a search that might never bear fruit to find someone that matches the physicality. No matter who the showrunner cast as Abby, though, they were bound to spark controversy. The character's stacked physique and brutal story arc placed her at the center of a torrent of online vitriol when hackers leaked footage, or hours of footage from part 2 in April 2020. I remember that.
Yeah.
As Druckmann, his co-writer Haley Gross, the voice actors, and the team at Naughty Dog scrambled through COVID isolation to make the game's June release, and Druckmann continued to work on Season 1. They were inundated with anti-Semitism, misogyny, homophobia, and death threats to themselves and their families.
I would like to see all of these anti-Semitic talk, because I don't believe it.
May never bear fruit, so you can't find an actress that's built like Abby. Zombie shows are inherently allowed one minimum violence scene. They wanted to sideline the main protagonist to emphasize the supreme surprise new character. Yeah. I'm still amazed that in the middle of all of it, we could get on a Zoom and we would talk about how to make this television show. Mason says, and here he was just like, okay, I'm compartmentalizing. That world goes away. Now we work on the show. I wouldn't have been able to get out of bed. Well, grow a pair, please. I asked Druckmann how he managed through this crisis. Not very well at the time, he says, sounding grim. I get hyper fixated on stuff, so when I'm alone, I have time to think. And worse, I have time to browse. That's when it gets the most dangerous. I'm starting to doubt myself. What if I did ruin it? What if I did make a piece of shit?
He did.
You did make a piece of shit.
I love that he's had these that right there tells me that he like thinks way too hard on it. Holy shit. People bullied him into the corner.
No, they did. What if I did ruin it? What if I did make a piece of shit?
You did.
Newsflash, buddy. You did.
Nobody loves it anymore.
Oh.
Your paused audience is the only one that
lightning
does.
in a bottle. Yeah. The Last of Us was just lightning in a bottle. Everything else afterwards is just gone. It was a narrative that Mason would not abide, Druckmann says. Craig was saying, who cares what they think? I'm telling you it's awesome. Listen to me.
A lot of people care because it needs to make money.
Yeah.
That's the part that a lot of these people don't understand is a lot of people do. The investors care. The investors are the ones that are paying for your shit. And I'm sure that when they're like, ooh, that's not making any money there, buddy. Anyway, we'll continue here because, yeah, continue.
With Maze's enthusiasm and pep talks, as well as the support of his inner circle, Druckmann thickened his skin to the point that he doesn't think that any commensurate online hatred for Season 2 of The Last of Us would upset him. I love the changes that we've made, he says. It's a different version of that story, but its DNA is in there. Maybe more than excited, I'm really curious what the reaction will be. Probably thinking shit.
I have a bad comparison.
Oh yeah?
He transitioned the entire TV show.
What do you mean by that?
As in, like, the show is trans now because he says he changed it.
Fair. The gamers that buy your games care. Yeah, exactly. I miss the days of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, Naughty Dog, not this.
I still forget that that's the games that they've made. It's very depressing.
Yeah. How much longer The Last of Us could continue, meanwhile, remains an open question. Mason and Druckmann always planned to split part 2 into more than one season. They're just not sure how many more there will be. It feels like we've got 1 or 2 more seasons, Mason says. It's getting harder to make because every episode gets big. We don't want to wait 4 years for a 17-episode finish, or whatever it is. Then there's the long, whispered potential possibility of The Last of Us Part 3.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
Mercenary, thank you for the 10. All this talk of The Last of Us makes realize just how bad the ship of Theseus meme applies to Naughty Dog and how much people like Druckmann and ruined any future hope I had for Jack and Daxter to return. Good morning. Yeah.
Jack and Daxter, yeah. Naughty Dog at the time, yeah, Naughty Dog was a behemoth for Sony.
And now look, don't forget that they're making that game where that woman literally looks like she is a gender ambiguous blob.
Yep. The old Naughty Dog is no longer there. Same with the old Insomniac. which is why Ratchet and Clank is probably dead. Which is a shame, because I love that franchise.
Probably is the wrong word. Is the better word.
Yeah.
It is dead.
Anyway, I was waiting for this question, Druckmann said, sighing when he brought up the prospect of a third game. Oh, Chad, this is what we're here for. It took a while, but we're here. I guess the only thing I would say is don't bet on there being more of Last of Us. This could be it. Yay! Praise!
He's basically saying that the investors will not pay any more money.
Yep, it's too gay now.
I don't even think it's that. I just think that it's not interesting. I think they realize that they've fucked with enough people, and now nobody is interested in it anymore. Which, that's their fault.
No matter the show's long-term prospects with a renewal all but guaranteed from HBO, Mazin and Druckmann will soon start their process all over again. I've been feeling scared lately. About like, oh yeah, I have to start thinking about Season 3, Mazin says. I remember having this feeling when we were finishing Season 1, where I was like, how the fuck are we gonna top this? Now, of course, I'm like, how the fuck are we gonna top this? Oh, that's it. That's just the end of the article.
That's the end?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it, chat. Not for the stream, but that's it for the article. Yeah, Last of Us is, in my personal opinion, if he's saying don't expect any more, there's a likelihood that there's just no more until the end of time. So.
Which, yeah.
Congratulations. You can 07, or, you know, here's a better one. Press S to spit on the grave of The Last of Us, in my personal opinion. Yeah, press S to spit. What a doomer ending. Very much so. Yeah, press S to spit. This shit is cooked, man.
Israel-Palestine conflict really did make the anti-Semitism criticism age like fine wine to some folks. Yeah,
it did.
It did.
I'm waiting for Neil Druckmann to become an anti-Semite now. Or is he Jewish?
I don't know. I'm gonna bite my tongue on what I was gonna say, but I don't know.
Probably a good idea. Well, thank you for the 2. How many are we into the sub goal? Oh, right. We reset the sub goal because the stream died. Yeah, we'll say 6. So 4 more.
The only thing that saves... Mercenary with 5. Only thing that saves these old games, ironically, for me, is the Rule 34 of all the girls, especially Ratchet and Rivet. Beyond that, there's nothing left. The sad part is about, like, the Ratchet and Clank, like, Into the Rift. I think that was it. Is that the latest one? Hold on.
I have no idea.
Rift Apart. That was it. It was good. I enjoyed its story. I had fun with it. It was a great game. But the fact that Rivet was censored because they were screaming out Lombax titties in the office is infinitely hilarious to me.
That is very hilarious. Lombax titties. That's beautiful.
I want the Lombax titties.
I think everybody does. Everybody is secretly a furry on the inside.
Yep. Nothing keeps games relevant quite like gooning. There you go. It's very true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us dynamic was Ellie and Joel. Otherwise, it's just a zombie game with nothing really interesting. Chat, if you want a good zombie story, might I recommend Resident Evil.
Which one?
If you want to go classics, you could do 1 through 4. Maybe 1 through 5, depending on how your mood. I hear 6 is shit. Otherwise, 7, Village, or 8. And then the apparently leaked Resident Evil 9.
Patchouli, thank you for the 10. Shout out to a Naughty Dog made an RPG for Genesis where someone added a secret code to add a topless woman into the animations. It's called Rings of Power, by the way. That's great. And Wolf for the 2. No one wants androgynous women, furry or otherwise. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, goodness.
Chat, please don't say 6. Okay, chat, I've also never played the Resident Evil games. I played a little bit of 4, the original 4. The tank controls really bother me. I bought 5 for the eventual, maybe I'll convince Aku to play it with me and I'll play it.
Is that the one where you're in Africa or something?
Yes.
Why would you try to convince me, an obviously not black VTuber, to play a game where you're killing black people? It's very racist.
Because you have it. Now, if you want a better zombie story, chat. Dead Space.
I heard Dead Space is really good.
Yeah, I think you would love it.
Mercenary for 5. I'm not a furry, I'm a Pokemon, unlimited cosmic power, and itty bitty living space. Wait a second.
Yeah, no, we said 5 is Africa. Egads! There are black people in Africa. Oh my god.
Sly, thank you for the 10 contributing to the Fallout Fund. You know what? I should keep a notepad for that now, since people are bringing that up. Very much appreciated. Chat, if you want to contribute to specific funds to play games, I'm stealing that idea from Arch and technically Lumi as well. You contribute money and you tell me which game you want that to go to, and I will put that in there. Right now we have $10 for the fund for Fallout New Vegas. So that's 10 out of 200. If we meet, I mean, like, there's no end cap on these goals, so like, it's whenever we hit it, we'll put it on the back burner, basically.
Mm-hmm. Didn't Dead Space 3 have co-op? It did. I actually bought Dead Space 3 in the hopes I can convince Akko to buy it, and we do that. But you know, that requires me to convince Akko.
Listen, you have way more time than I do.
I know.
With my limited
on stream,
time,
I mean.
On stream, we could like donate like
the same with Resident Evil 5, like on stream.
We could donate 1 day out of the month to play games on Nightwave instead.
Yeah. Don't recommend games you haven't played, but what if I paid attention to the story?
Well, thank you for the 2. I think we hit the goal. May want to start a new one. Oh, you want another goal? All right, sounds good. We'll start a new goal.
Akko doesn't strike me as a horror game enjoyer. Akko played Resident Evil Village. What other horror games have you played? Or was that it?
Resident Evil 8. The Phasmophobia games are horror, technically.
Yeah, Phasmophobia. Lethal Company.
Lethal Company?
Lethal Company is kind of horror.
That's kind of horror comedy.
Horror adjacent. Like, it has horror elements, but I really wouldn't call it, like, a horror game.
Uh-huh.
Like, to people like me, like, I'm probably gonna get spooked by Lethal Company, but not, like... It's not out there designed to be, like, a horror game. How long has it been since I played Lethal Company? Oh, November 2023.
All right, there's your new goal, chat. We'll promote 1 yippee to assistant to the manager. Holy fuck, it is hot.
Yeah. Otherwise, chat, what else is in our topic list for the night?
You had Killing Floor?
Killing Floor is in there. Yep. And so is a little bit of Monster Hunter.
Any Silent Hill games? I've never played a Silent Hill game. All right. We'll talk about Monster Hunter then. What's going on? You've 100% of the game, basically, haven't you?
Well, let's go over Killing Floor. Killing Floor is going to be pretty fast.
Okay. Explain to me and chat, because I've never played Killing Floor. But
So,
you know about it.
Killing Floor is essentially like, what if there was Call of Duty Zombies without the Call of Duty bit?
Okay.
Or at least that's what Killing Floor 2 to me felt like. And Killing Floor 3 we were told was going to be more of that.
Okay.
So, Killing Floor 3 had a disastrous beta period. I forget when that was. If it was like last week or, 2 weeks, a month ago. I don't know. But it was fairly recently that they had the beta period.
Uh-huh.
So this goes into that. Dear Killing Floor fans, we made the decision to postpone Killing Floor 3's launch to an undecided date later in 2025. After taking the time to gather, discuss, and or just gather and discuss feedback from our recent closed beta, we realized that we missed the mark. Our goal isn't just to make Killing Floor 3 an ambitious step forward for the franchise, but also to maintain the core experience that you've come to know and love. With the full support of our parent company, Embracer Group, we're working together on a timeline to address many of the common issues players had during the beta, including performance, stability, UI, UX, lighting, and weapon feel. While it's too early to say which fixes will be implemented by launch, we can confirm that an update allowing you to independently select your perk class and character is planned for post-release. We look forward to another opportunity to show you a more polished version of Killing Floor 3, and when we're ready to share more details, you will be the first to know. Until then, we thank you for your continued patience and overwhelming support. Sincerely, the Tripwire Interactive Development Team.
Really quickly, thank you, Scott Sly, for the one. I appreciate it. So, I guess like my question is, they put out this beta, and they had already had a release date for this, and they were wanting to see what the feedback of the game was before release. Is that correct?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't have set a release date with that, but you know what? If the beta turned out to be good and they had a release date, cool.
I guess my issue is like, did they not have anybody playtest this game or like measure this game before getting to this point? Because I imagine
that I'm not sure of.
Like, what's the issue? If they're saying they're delaying it, what's the issue?
Okay, well, let me see if I can find that. Let me do this. Borderlands 4 CEO had a Twitter meltdown. Oh God, what happened with Randy? Hold on, we're gonna backtrack a little bit and search that. Hold on, what did Randy Pitchford do?
Wait, what happened?
What meltdown did he have?
Thank you, Magma, for the 2. She need the job position. I love how people are speaking less English when talking about the yippies. It's beautiful. It's funny, is what it is. She need the job position. She's just a hard-working yippie in a non-yippie world. She needs her startup. She's had a... Sorry, chat. I've been listening to a lot of Reddit stories, and I'm trying to say all the buzzwords that I hear in them. She's hardworking. She's just fallen on tough times. She just needs a little bit more help than you do. She needs the money more than you do. She deserves it more than you do. These all apply to the yippie. Oh no, Borderlands?
Okay. So, you wouldn't have seen this because you're blocked by Gathalion.
Well, I can still see his stuff. I just choose not to.
So, I don't know the context behind this.
Yes, Chad, I'm blocked by Gathalion. That's a funny story.
Occo pissed off the Florida man.
What did I say again? I pissed him off, and I don't even remember what I said.
I think it was about Destiny.
That's how brain dead it is. When somebody blocks me, it's just like, bro, I don't even remember what I did to piss you off. That's how dumb it was.
It was either about I know it was about Helldivers.
Was it about Helldivers?
I'm pretty sure about Helldivers.
Yeah, Mercenary, thank you for the 2. The yippie better be than Shister Randy Pitchford.
So, Gathalion made a post, said, I spoke on this on stream. This was on March 2nd. I spoke on this on stream, but should have said something here. At Mitsu Show loves Borderlands and gave some very valid concerns, mild takes really, about Borderlands 4. Hate to see Duval Magic, which is Randy Pitchford, mute him as a result publicly. Homie, this guy is a longtime supporter. I would like to add on as well that Mitsu, the guy that Randy Pitchford muted on Twitter. Oh no, he muted him. Ran a podcast that was actively supported and run by Gearbox for Borderlands 3.
Okay.
They paid the man to run a podcast for them.
Okay, so let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. This man runs a podcast because he loves this game series so much. It's sponsored actually by Gearbox, the creators of the game, and now he's muted by Randy Pitchford. What the fuck did he say?
I'm looking for that right now. It was March 2nd, I believe. If not March 2nd, then around then.
He must have, like, if this man didn't, like, dishonor his family, I'm gonna be really disappointed. I mean, I'm already disappointed when I mean, okay. Here, let me rephrase, chat. You can mute or block people for whatever reason. I try not to block people because I feel like I have to have an actual good reason. Like, I've only really blocked people that actually like consistently bug me or consistently try and spread misinfo, things that are just wrong or shit. But like, for the most part, I don't block people because it just doesn't matter, and it's another avenue for people to say, oh my gosh, they block me, look at how horrible they are. So I just don't do it. But like, whenever I see a big person at a company do it, I'm just like, bro, what a whiny baby.
Sorry, I have to get through all of Mitsu's pro-Zelensky rhetoric.
Ah, lovely. I almost feel like it's not even worth it then. I don't know.
Either way, if that's the case, it doesn't matter. He basically came out and said, or Gathalion said, his critique came from a place of love. Let me touch this so you check to see this. Came from a place of love, as will mine. Please reconsider, do better, make a great Borderlands, and when your longest lasting, biggest supporters give feedback and worries, especially respectfully, digest it gracefully, hoping Borderlands 4 banks.
Homie,
And
you're talking to a man baby that's in charge of a game that is going down the shitter because they don't know how to make good games anymore. I don't know what you expect here. That's why I hate Goth Lion, because he speaks as if he's some sort of like figure of authority, and it's just like, no, you're a fucking streamer. Nobody really cares about your opinion except for your viewers. Outside of that, all the people that you think that like you, they just tolerate you. They don't give a shit about you. I'm glad that he blocked me because I fucking hate him.
Anyway, Randy responded and said, I didn't see any critique. I just saw shitty negativity that was demotivating. Want the best Borderlands? Root for us and cheer us on. If you take developers' passion for granted, we'll all pay the price. I love criticism, and thankfully I've never been in short supply. Don't gaslight me on this post. It wasn't criticism, it was pessimism. It's toxic for people killing themselves for your entertainment, so fuck that noise. Now I kind of want to know what
I really want to know what was said. Like, legitimately, chat, if you know what was
Let's
said,
find it, because now I want to know.
I need to see this so that I can laugh at Goth Lion again. Whatever the fuck his name is.
I want to laugh at Randy, specifically.
I want to laugh at all of them. They're all fucking horrible people. I don't know. If you like any of these people, that's fine. You're allowed to. I just don't like them. I don't like a lot of people. This is something that Mizu talked about on Twitter, and I definitely agree with this. But the bigger a creator gets, the more immoral or just more stupid they start to sound. And maybe that's why I can't, or excuse me, that's the wrong thing. Maybe that's why I am the size I am, and I am growing at the speed I am, because I refuse to bow down in the way that some of these people do. It's just like, you know, if I could sell my soul to the devil, I mean, I guess I almost did when I was still living in Texas. But like, if I could sell my soul to the devil, I just don't feel like it would be worth it for me. All these people just suck, and I wouldn't want to be around them. I mean, there's a few of them I kind of like, but the rest of them are just like, you all suck. My apologies. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. The yippee from HR definitely did.
Where is... Jen, if anyone knows the post specifically, if you could link it somewhere, that would be great.
They're taking it as fact, not opinion. And that's a good thing, Akko. I'm glad people think it's a good thing. Again, my goal is obviously to continue to grow and make good content. I feel like making good content is like, I mean, like, obviously making money is great, but like making good content is the dream for me. You know, content that people can say that they legitimately enjoyed. I would not want to subvert that in order to get in bed with somebody that I feel like is going to help me career-wise. I just don't feel like I could do it. So, I don't know. I dislike people that end up doing that. And there's a lot of them that do. And I just end up disliking them. Again, try not to use the word hate.
Where?
Raise? I love chat. You guys are awesome. Like, you're making all of the We need community appease. I need to work on that. You guys funded it. I need to work on that.
If he said something, I'm not seeing it.
Is Mizu the one that...
Wait, maybe I found it.
Is Mizu the one that reacted to the curse video? Yes, Mizu and Lumi both reacted to it. Well, a video that I have no opinions on because POCD is not something that I am in any way familiar with, so I can't give comments on it. I am not a licensed professional. And that is really, in my personal opinion, the way that you should take it. If you are not a licensed professional, you probably shouldn't comment on something like POCD. And the only reason why I'm fine with Mizu talking about it is because he was studying therapy, I believe, to something. He was studying something, and he was working in that field, so he knows more about it than all of us, which is why I'm fine with him talking about it. Not fine with other streamers that don't know what they're talking about, not talking about it. Anyway. Continue, Temp.
Actually, you can. I'm still maybe looking for it.
Oh, fair enough. I don't know. Like I said, I have no opinions on it. I just know that because I don't know anything about it, I am not equipped nor qualified to really give an opinion. And again, unless you're like a licensed person, I don't think you should be either. So, that's my opinion.
February 21st? Was that?
My goodness, you're going that far back, huh?
Oh, I'm not seeing it. Chat, if anyone sees it, please let me know. Because I'm not finding anything about that. If it's there, it was pretty early in February and it was responded to late, or it was deleted.
Did you try and Google it?
Yep, not a bad idea.
Morning After Kill made a video about the Randy situation. It might help a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, actually. If we want to watch it, we can, but I've watched Mac before, and he can be a little intense.
How so?
I might not need to look very further. PC Gamer made an article about it.
Oh, good.
Or they're only talking about the Gathalion post.
Choose something and we'll do it.
Okay. What the heck? Okay. So, found it. So, Mitsu came out and said, I'm a humble man, for I just comment on the things I see. I really worry about Borderlands 4. It feels like the movie. Feels like other situations where the publisher yanked the marketing budget to cut losses since projected sales are way, way down. Okay, I understand that. I get that. And Randy responded saying, sorry, don't need this energy right now, as the team and I bust our ass to make Borderlands 4 the best Borderlands game yet. I'm going to block you in a day or so after you've had a chance to see this. Nothing against you or your opinion, just shouldn't expose myself to this now. Sorry. And when I say, oops, I guess I could just mute you. Doing that now, I hope I remember to unmute you when we're done. If you see this, or you see me, please remind me, no block again. Sorry, nothing against you.
That's all he said?
Yeah, and Mitsu responded saying, I will, and I will. I don't take it personally, never do. You probably won't see this until we're done. If ever, but remember, walking the streets of Budapest with you leading up to the rooftop mixer, I know your passion and what you do with it. I hope you prove me wrong.
Fucking baby. Yeah,
it just feels like they're all sucking each other off. And that's what Randy's getting mad about and got mad.
Effort does not equal success. I agree. Chad, there's a lot of streamers I know that put a lot of effort into their stuff. Some of them put dozens of hours and actually are innovative and deserve more time. Doesn't mean they're going to have success. And it really sucks. But like sometimes your passion is not what the internet wants to see. And the internet will tell you that. Or it could be, but that's not what YouTube wants to spread. So, you know, that's just the unfortunate truth. And so I think Randy's being a bitch.
Being a baby is what he's being.
Being a bitch is what he's being. Like, holy shit. I don't want to see these negative opinions, so I'm just going to mute you Remind me to unmute you later.
All right. So on a happier note, I talked about this a couple of days ago on my Final Fantasy VI stream, but we had some comments from the team over at Capcom for Monster Hunter.
Oh, we moving on from Randy Pitchford then?
Yes, because he literally said nothing and then bitched and moaned because he said nothing.
Okay, sounds good.
Typical Randy Pitchford behavior.
I'm going to say this now. I kind of hope that Borderlands 4 struggles now because of him. I hope that his comments alone make Borderlands struggle. I know it's a game you like, but I kind of hope it struggles now because of him being like an asshole.
I'm still going to play it, and if they fail it,
Oh,
I'm
you
going to
should.
the last one.
You should definitely play it. I just hope that it struggles because he's being a bit of a bitch.
Yeah, he's being a baby.
Oh.
Plain and simple.
Wow.
Monster Hunter Wild's Week 1 community message. Can you believe this game is a week old as of Friday, 2 days ago?
Yeah, I can believe that. It was on, it was Thursday night last week.
Yep. Hey hunters, how's it hunting? It's been 1 week since the launch of Monster Hunter Wilds, and we all stepped forth into the Forbidden Lands, marking the arrival of the next generation of Monster Hunter series. So for those who don't know, Monster Hunter works off of like a Pokemon generation system. So, like World and Rise were both Gen 5. Or Gen 4, Gen 5. And Wilds is the start of Gen 6, I believe.
So there's going to be another game that kind of is in the same gen?
So the Monster Hunter team works off of 2 dev teams. There's the mainline team and the portable team. So the mainline team is what made World. The portable team is what made Rise.
Okay.
So the mainline team that made World is the team on Wilds. The reason why the art style for Rise was almost like cartoony or like, you know, low poly in a way is because they had to make it work as a
Switch game?
As a portable game for the Switch. Exactly.
Okay.
So for that context, now you like understand, like, so there's 2 games usually in generation that are like both primarily Monster Hunter, and then maybe like some spin-offs like stories or
they still do both games. Good.
Oh yeah, they do both really good. Anyway, there's been many moving parts as the team worked over launch weekend and beyond, collating feedback, addressing critical issues, and more. So we'd like to take a moment to share a few updates with you, both on the celebratory side as well as acknowledging feedback from the community. As we're continuing to collate, analyze, and process the player feedback and reports, we won't be going into the finer details today, but we hope what we can share right now is helpful. Launch milestones. First up, let's celebrate some cool milestones. We wanted to share our immense gratitude for your support during launch week. Seriously, thank you all so much from everyone at the Monster Hunter team. You rock. Thanks to you, the Steam community, Monster Hunter Wilds became Capcom's most successful PC launch to date, with a truly massive concurrent player count of 1,384,608. Damn.
Did they mention how many people are playing on the PS5? Because I imagine the PS5 is still going to be massive above that.
I have not seen any community updates for the other consoles, only Steam. I'm guessing that is because World came out January 28th, 2018, and then didn't come out for PC until August of that same year. And Rise was a very similar situation where it released on console first and then released everywhere else a few months down the line. So Wilds is the first time it was a simultaneous launch for consoles and PC for Monster Hunter.
Okay.
So they're probably looking at putting like a big emphasis on thank you for the numbers. We didn't expect it to do so well on PC. Shocker. It did fantastic on PC.
It did, yes.
Putting the game in Steam's top 5 games of all time for concurrent players. By comparison, Monster Hunter World had a peak of 334,684. So that's quite the jump. Yeah, by
Over
nearly
700,000
players.
Oh no, yeah. You're
Over
right
a
there.
million.
That is kind of crazy, though.
Monster Hunter Wilds also hit a milestone of over 8 million copies sold across all platforms in just the first 3 days following launch, which has left us truly humbled by such amazing support. This is the start of the next generation of Monster Hunter, and we look forward to taking the next steps with you. What if Google is telling me is accurate? There are over 8 million copies sold on all platforms. Yep, that's what they just said here. PC did well even with 2 DRM checks in the game. Yeah. I have a feeling that Capcom is probably going to be the start of a lot of removing of exclusivity.
Well, it's because they know. They're seeing, oh, people want this.
Like we saw Square being like, well, we're going to stop doing exclusives, and Capcom was just like, throw it at the PC and see what happens.
And they were, it sounds like they're happy.
Yeah. So I think Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be the start. It's going to kind of be like that next generation of like, this is where PC games are like, hopefully not in terms of performance, mind you, but in terms of exclusivity.
Oh yeah, So here's my question. Do you think that performance would improve massively if they removed the DRMs completely?
De Novo, specifically. The reason I say that is World and Rise both have the Enigma DRM, their internal one, and I can run both of them at 120 FPS, no problem, on max settings.
Right.
I think it's specifically De Novo.
Fair enough.
But with these numbers, there's no reason to remove De Novo anytime soon.
No, yeah. If they're getting that many numbers, they recognize that people will play regardless, so it doesn't matter to them.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks, but it is what it is.
Anyway, patches, fixes, and community feedback. Speaking of next steps, let's talk about what we've addressed since launch. What's next on the community feedback front? Since launch, you've probably seen us deploy a couple of patches that address priority issues such as progression blockers, game stability, and gameplay bugs. These were, in the grand scheme of things, relatively quick fixes, allowing us to move quickly and address them thanks to player reports. The team are currently working through other known issues, including network errors, crash issues, and more, all of which I've experienced.
Have you now?
Yes. Network error specifically today, on your stream earlier even, where I couldn't join other players because they were on other consoles instead of PC.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're gonna fix that.
And I had to literally turn off frame generation because it was actively causing the game to crash.
Interesting.
Anyway, community feedback. As previously mentioned, the team has been meticulously going through player feedback here on the Steam forums, in Steam reviews, social media channels, community hubs, and more. We've been collating everything we're seeing, from the positive to constructive and negative. This includes current community hot topics too. Whilst we're not quite ready to talk in more detail about this today, we wanted to reassure you that we're watching, listening, and working away behind the scenes. When we have more news to share with you, we will. Thank you for your patience, support, and feedback in the meantime. Yeah, I don't know. People shit on Capcom. People are shitting on, like, the whole, like, oh, this game has poor performance. I have a feeling a lot of that might be due to corporate Capcom, because when you see the updates that Monster Hunter gets, it's very clear that the dev team for Monster Hunter has a level of passion.
Yeah. Mercenary for 2. I won't buy Monster Hunter 7 until Denuvo is gone. Lost 2 SSDs. That's very fair. Denuvo is very invasive.
It is.
I feel for you that you lost 2 SSDs like that. That is, again, when you told me that, I was like, what? Because I didn't really understand. I still really don't understand how how that can happen. I mean, I believe that it happened to you. I just don't understand how. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand when it's going into your computer and checking the files like that. It could probably, excuse me, overload the system. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just insane
Yeah,
to
I'm
me.
not quite sure either.
Either way, I think it's bullshit that happened.
No, I agree. Anyway, what's next? As we previously mentioned, launch really is just the start for the next generation of Monster Hunter. The game's first 2 free events are live now, giving you the opportunity to craft an adorable new piece of headgear, as well as stock up on your Kunafa cheese supplies. More event quests will be released on a regular basis moving forward, so keep a lookout for them here. If you'd like to see what's coming in the next few weeks, you can do so at our event quest info page. I don't know if you've seen this image.
Probably haven't.
Here, let me stream this for you so you can actually see this. That way you know what I'm looking at on how... Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to know what kind of events we're likely going to see, Capcom commonly does crossover events with their other games. So Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, Okami's one. I fully expect Okami with because we have Okami 2 coming out. Probably Dragon's Dogma is going to be in there as well.
Yeah.
So, like, the internal Capcom games, very much should expect those.
Right.
World specifically had a crossover event with The Witcher 3 and Final Fantasy 14. Both events literally brought monsters from both franchises. We had the Lichy, or the like a tree monster thing from The Witcher, as something you can farm and fight and whatever in Monster Hunter. And then we got Behemoth from Final Fantasy 14 as a boss in World as well. So we can kind of expect that. In fact, this is the first time I'm actually going to say it. I am working on a video right now talking about what we might be able to expect from a Final Fantasy 14 event again, because there are heavy rumors and some stuff to back it up that there is going to be a Final Fantasy crossover with Monster Hunter again this time around as well.
Right. Mercenary again for 2. They are MVMEs or MVMS SSDs, both of them $200. No, yeah. Again, I think that is dumb that it happened. I guess it's just bewildering to me to hear that a program like that. I don't know if there's any way you can get like recourse for that. Because you should at least try to just say like I noticed that I don't know. Just be like, you should buy me my new MVMEs because your thing destroyed my system.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least,
we've
try.
also announced our first 2 free title updates. So for Akko to understand, because Akko has played 14, title updates are kind of like the I'm going to use Dawn Trail as an example here. So Dawn Trail was patch 7.0.
Yep.
The free title updates are like patch 7.1, patch 7.2. Like, it's not story, but it's content. Like, we're adding new monsters, we're adding other events, we're adding, a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
So they've announced 2 free title updates, aptly named Title Update 1 and Title Update 2, which will bring even more content to the game. Title Update 1 is bringing out Mitsutsune, which I don't remember if Mitsutsune was in other games. I know Mitsutsune was in Rise.
That sounds like a Rise boss.
Well, it's very Japanese themed. That's why I'm like, I don't know if it was new to Rise or if it was pre-Rise as well.
Right.
We've recently revealed Title Update 1 will be arriving in early April and shared a little bit about what new content you'll be receiving. Check it out below. Now, this is not everything from the update. They're just talking about some of the things we can expect from this update.
Shout out to
a new level of...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna read the comment here. Shout out to that time Square made a Monster Hunter clone and it flopped.
How invasive is the Capcom in-house EULA? Not very.
Thank you for the 2.
I remember when Capcom, when it was first announced, and Akko was very vehemently against it. In fact, I'm going to be totally honest, chat. When I heard about the fact that Wilds has 2 DRMs, I actively went out of my way to not show Akko.
Really?
Because, when I saw that, I was like, oh, good. Akko will see this and then not play Wilds. And I wanted Akko to play Wilds.
So you had to trick me into buying a game.
No. You already had the game. You had already bought it.
Yeah, but I could have returned it.
No, you already played 2 hours of it.
Oh, okay. So you...
I wanted you to keep playing it. And then when I saw that you saw it, I said, screw it. Anyway.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I do it because I love you. And I want you to play game with me. Anyway, a new level of challenge. Prepare your gear and resolve hunters. Title update 1 will bring with it a monster of formidable strength at a level above tempered. So we're not quite sure what this means. This could mean we're getting arch tempered, because that's like a level above tempered monsters. This could mean that we're getting 2 monsters this update, because Mitsune really isn't like anything overly special. Again, because I'm saying this because they've not announced everything for the update.
Yeah.
It's just they've announced some like pretty big things to keep people like motivated and anticipated for the like patch to be hyped for it.
Right.
So
Mercenary.
this could...
Thank you for the 2. They told me to go pound sand and see them in court. Well, maybe that's what you should do. Just say you did this, and I don't know. Like, lawyers are expensive. I don't know. But that's dumb.
Swole tempered.
Swole
The best of the best temp. Yeah, I know. Look, I don't like DRMs, but I know Akko was very vehemently against Capcom's DRM. But if I have to have a DRM, I'd rather Capcom's than Denuvo. Any day.
But they're both on there.
They're both on there, I know. That's what bothers me. But, whatever. A new place to gather, a new place to meet, communicate, have meals together, and more with other hunters will be added in Title Update 1. This area will be available to hunters who have completed the main story. So, it's essentially the gathering hub is coming back in Wilds. I know that was one of people's big complaints about Wilds, was like, specifically, like, Monster Hunter has commonly had like a main hub or a main town. Like, you always come back here.
And there's not
like,
one.
There's not one in Wilds. You have a base camp in every zone, but there's not like a central hub.
Right.
So we don't know if this is just a gathering hub where you can go with other players, or if like there's going to be a little bit of like a story update in the patch that's like, hey, now that we're here and we've been assigned to this place, we now just have a general hub. So kind of like Astera in World.
Uh-huh.
You probably don't understand that, but the Monster Hunter players know what I mean.
I don't.
Otherwise, quest complete. We'll see you this time next time. That wraps up today's post. Thank you again for your incredible support since launch. We'll see you in the wilds. So that's all this is. It's just, hey, here's an update on thank you for your support. Here's what's coming. Here's what we've seen. And I do like the communication.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Just get rid of both DRMs. Wolfbane for 2. Capcom needs to bring back Darkstalkers content.
They do.
What is Darkstalker content?
Huh?
What is Darkstalker content?
Darkstalker is one of Capcom's many franchises. Hold on. Darkstalker. Is it on Steam? Yeah, Darkstalkers, I don't quite know. I know it's one of their franchises, but it's a fairly old one. Right? Hold on. Darkstalkers. Oh no! Darkstalkers, known in Japan as Vampire, is a fighting game series and media franchise created by Capcom. Okay, so it's just a supernatural fighting game.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's where all of like the Capcom's more sexually appropriate characters come from. And by sexually appropriate, I mean not that.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, no, that's it as far as like our docket. I'm excited for the Monster Hunter content coming. Hopefully they will have a nice release cadence. So realistically, what happens for those who do not understand, if like you're playing Wilds for the first time, or like this is your first time with Monster Hunter in general, is we'll get about 4 to 5 title updates. And each title update will have at least one monster added to it. It may be some like other content, maybe a crossover thing, or you know, or events, or whatever. And then we'll get the expansion probably about this time next year is what I'm thinking.
Look up Morgan Darkstalkers. You'll understand. Oh, I know that character.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar. She's all over the internet.
Mm-hmm. So we'll get the main game. We'll get the title updates I'm going to say between 4 and 6 title updates. It just depends on like delaying the expansion, like when that expansion comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get the expansion, which will add probably about, again, it depends on the size, but it'll probably add at least 1 new locale and probably 20 to 40 new monsters. Again, depends on the size.
Yeah.
And then we'll get another 4 to 6 title updates, and that'll be it. Then they're done. So we can expect Wilds to be done by 2027.
Okay. Jeez, really?
Yeah.
We'll explain that for another 2. Morgan and Spider-Man have a wholesome friendship. Is that so? Why can't I run? Am I not able to run? What the hell?
And then probably 2028 at that point is when we'll see the portable game for this generation. So at that point, Switch 2 would obviously be out. Switch 2 is coming out this year. The question will remain at that point is, will they stick to the exclusivity of the portable title, or will it be designed with the Switch 2 in mind, but play everywhere?
Uh-huh.
But we'll see when that actually happens.
Do you think it will go to the Switch?
Switch 1? Or no?
No, just in general, I guess.
Okay. Do you mean the portable game, or do you mean Wilds?
Wilds, yeah.
I think Wilds will come to Switch 2, yes.
I want my promised Darkstalkers to 3.
The only reason I'm saying I expect Wilds is if the rumors are correct and the Switch 2... Also, Akko, the models are really big for the game.
I know.
Just letting you know.
I know. We're just kind of talking.
As long as you know that.
We're just kind of talking in the background.
What I expect is it will come to Switch 2 because of the rumored DLSS features. Because there sounds like that NVIDIA is working with Nintendo on Switch 2. And if Switch 2 has DLSS, that means it has frame generation. So, I think that will push Capcom to push Wilds to the Switch 2. We'll see how it runs, we'll see how it looks, but I do expect it to come to Switch 2.
Yeah. Kill the Spriggan.
Yeah. I mean, it's already running on the Steam Deck, albeit interestingly.
How? If it's got 2 DRMs, how is it running on the Steam Deck?
Magic. Technically, World and Rise already run on the Steam Deck anyway.
Alright.
Both pretty well, actually, so.
Ooh. Is that a samurai sword? It is. Interesting. Thank you, Mercenary, for another 2, by the way. I forgot to say it.
I'm gonna promise Darkstalkers 3. Yeah. The next Capcom game I'm looking forward to is Okami 2. On that note, I'm gonna play Okami this year for the first time.
I've never played Okami. I watched somebody play Okami a long ass time ago, but I've never played Okami before.
My first instance of seeing someone play Okami was Chugga Conroy.
Oh, you know what? It might have been him.
Sorry, it wasn't Chugga Conroy. It was another. It was actually I forget his name. There was a content creator I used to watch that got me into wanting to do YouTube content. Period. But he's long gone. He's left the platform. I forget his name. I just haven't seen him in years. But I saw him play Okami, and then I got to see Chugga Conroy play Okami as well, and it really made me want to play it. I never played it because I wanted to get on the Wii because it wasn't on PC at the time.
Aqua should have a back perspective for these games. Oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Maybe eventually. Sorry, continue.
A back perspective?
Yeah, showing my back while I'm playing these games.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I never got to play Okami for years, and you met my mother.
Yes.
So
Ouch.
I wasn't allowed to play Okami. So that is something I want to sit down and do this year, is sit down and play Okami. Go with the OG on PS2 pleb. When I play it, it'll be the PC version, the Okami HD version.
We'll come back.
Especially because I'm not gonna say we're not gonna get a Zelda game this year. I don't think we're gonna get a Zelda game this year.
We got a Zelda game last year. We're not gonna get another one.
I'm not gonna say we're not, actually.
Why?
Because it's also a Switch launch. It's also a new console launch year.
Oh, that's right. When does the new Switch come out? Is it April?
We don't have a date. We're getting the first proper reveal stream in April 2nd.
Okay.
If you are off that day, we'll find out when what
day is it?
We get closer. April 2nd. Right? Hold on. Nintendo Switch 2. April 2nd.
Wednesday. I can try and take that day off.
Well, what time is that? I want to see what time that's going to be, if they even told us that. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Fuck. Doesn't matter what time it is. That's at 6 a.m. my time. Ew.
I mean, I could do it on Wednesday morning then.
Yeah, it'll be, yeah, you know what time it'll be for you. Yeah, we don't know. I think if we're gonna see anything Zelda this year, it's gonna be a remaster or a port.
What would your opinions be on what port it would be?
Breath of the Wild.
Seriously?
Yep.
Why would we need another port? We already have a Switch version of it. I just think that's lame.
Then they could remaster it. They could give it. It would run better. They could put it at 60 FPS, which would help the game.
This is important business. Thanks for wasting my time.
But the point still stands is I think it's either going to be Breath of the Wild, and I'm only going to say this because this is Copium. It's the only one that has not been pushed out is Wind Waker Twilight Princess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only saying that because, one, it is Copium because we expected that for years and never got it. But it is the only ones that have been remastered, were on the Wii U, and have not been ported.
Mm-hmm. Really quickly, Richard, thank you for the $4.99. Can't believe your friend Mizu's coming to TU1. What an honor. This is a joke. What is TU?
Title update
TU1.
for Moss. I'm so glad that all the information we just talked about is retained in your head.
Well, no, I know that, like, I thought it was a game.
No, that's the title update for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Okay.
Is it the Switch 2 backwards compatible? Yes.
That's why I'm like,
Yes, it is.
this would be dumb if they did it.
Not if they released a remastered version with like better performance. Some people expect Nintendo will pull a Sony here and release a remastered version where like you could put your Switch 1, like if you have a cartridge, or you could download it from the Switch 1 to Switch 2, but you could pay $10 and just have the enhanced version. People do not want Nintendo to do this because it is proven to be very scummy on Sony to do it, but
Yeah.
we'll see. What people ultimately want is Nintendo to just upscale them, like have a patch upscale. Like if you want to buy it again on Switch 2, you could, but if people are right, it's just going to be the same eShop with and you just download your eShop games there as well. So tie goes in, tie goes out. You can't explain that, Tim. What do you mean? Yeah, they released a remaster with the DLC content and some extras, maybe, but it would still be a dumb port. It would. I think what Nintendo should do is just have them just be natively enhanced on the Switch 2. I don't know. Maybe, I think that's just what they need to do. I think that would have a lot of good faith for people that would make them want to go buy it.
Richard, for another $4.99. Temp, you seem like a very informed person. Where you get all your info? Leaker friends, deep research, luck, or intense autism? He's just really good at research. I don't think he's got autism, though.
I don't show the signs of autism.
Just so you know, nobody can see your game.
I know. Hello, Mizu.
Okay.
Hello.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, we're still podcasting. I just got it in the background. How you doing?
Sorry. Oh, good. I was doing my own podcasting.
Yeah, you guys done playing your game?
No, it fell through.
Oh, what happened?
He's broken. It will not work for me.
Oh, I'm sorry to
game?
hear that.
Demonologist.
We
We looked it up, and apparently for over 2 years now, people have been having trouble with the in-game voice chat. And a recent update just broke it for even more people. And I just happen to be one of those people, so...
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so they're still playing, actually. I just went and did a podcast by myself.
What'd you talk about?
We talked about how Split Fiction dev is getting one guide by a random YouTuber. And he's like, my game is not woke DEI.
Avenge, thank you for the raid.
Oh, shit.
That was something that we didn't talk about, but where it was kind of interesting. So can you kind of give me like the synopsis for it?
So, what was it called? I forget what it was called. He was on a YouTube show where they were talking to him, and they're like, we're going to have you respond to YouTube comments about Split Fiction.
Oh, no.
And they showed him a comment from a guy that his entire name was just a bunch of numbers and letters randomly. Like, it didn't have anything I could tell.
Yeah.
And it had 8 upvotes. And it said something like, woke feminism propaganda game. And Dextero posted the clip of him, like, he responds to the mass outcry calling his game woke. And he has like a mostly good take on it the whole time.
Yeah.
But then he like ends it off with something like, all these people think it's a woke game. And it's like, it's one guy on YouTube with no likes.
Yeah. No, he definitely got one guide. How does this keep happening, Mizu? It's only these game devs. This is insane.
Well, somebody in my chat said that this dev has a particularly bad problem with responding to everybody.
Of course. Well, that's every game dev these days.
Oh, you gotta move your VTube studio down a little bit more. There's like a little
Oh.
empty bar.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
close.
I was close. Also, really quickly, chat says, Richard for 5. Hi, Mizu. Congratulations on getting into Monster Hunter Wilds. Title update 1. Can't wait to hunt you in all your bubbly glory.
Yeah, I should be streaming on Tuesday. Because we get the card tomorrow.
The card?
Yay!
Yeah, my new graphics card.
Oh, fun. Exciting.
Yeah, but yeah,
Nope.
he's getting like completely one guide, and I don't know why he's letting himself get one guide.
Mizu, I'm gonna have a recommendation for you with the card.
Uh-huh.
Remove your GPU drivers before you install the new one.
Okay. But it's still an NVIDIA card.
Yes, but installing a new card could cause problems.
I mean, maybe. Game devs need to learn to shut the hell up. Yes.
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
you do.
Dumb.
Yes, they do.
There was no
Holy shit.
mass outcry. He's letting
Oh.
himself get completely one guide.
Yeah, I just... Why does it continue to happen? It just... I just don't get it.
Are you
Maybe you
enjoying
will take
Skyrim?
So
I
many
am.
headaches, trust me. Yep.
I don't get it
What is
whatsoever.
DDU?
Let me get a link for you.
But yeah, chat, I am upgrading from a 1060 to a 3070.
I mean, it was about time. You know.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I was playing Monster Hunter Wilds for like the last week, and I stopped because I have to play Monster Hunter Wilds at 720p on all lowest settings with the upscaling technology stuff,
Yeah.
and it still lags.
Well,
There you go.
It looks very crunchy.
I will...
we love our crunchy Monster Hunter.
I will definitely play with you. Maybe not Wednesday or not Tuesday, because Tuesday is movie night with Ava. But I'm down to play with you later this week.
Yeah, when I stream it, I'm starting a new character.
Okay. I'll probably play the same one, but I'll just be there to be helpful. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference I feel like.
It doesn't.
Oh, also, I know you said you weren't talking about it, but the other thing I talked about tonight was the new VTuber group filled with minors.
Oh, so when I said not talk about it, I meant like I really don't want to like talk about it a lot on Twitter because I feel like a lot of predators are going to start looking out for that shit. Do you want to talk
fair.
about that on Thursday?
Oh, we could.
Yeah, it's just okay.
At the very least, like, bring it up, I guess.
Yeah. Tim, did you see that?
No, I don't really pay attention to VTubers doing stupid shit.
Okay, so actually, Mizu, you go ahead because you talked about it.
Yeah, so there's a new VTuber group called Solar Live, which I haven't looked too far back on their Twitter, but it's gone back like they started posting a lot a couple days ago, about 3 or 4 days ago. And they have 7, quote, talents in it. And they made a post today, and this is the first time they've said this, as far as I can tell, is they said, we are a VTuber group by minors for minors. Every member of the group is a minor. And they're just like publicly like advertising it. They, in another tweet, they said that their oldest member is 19. And as people have pointed out, they could be lying. They like the person running this could be an adult that's a predator. I don't want to say that because that could be like a bigger issue, you know? Just kind of claiming that. And to some of the people saying that on Twitter, all I would say is it doesn't really matter either way. Either way, there's a VTuber group that is filled with nothing but children, and they really shouldn't be active.
Yeah, and so here's
It doesn't
my
matter
question.
who started it.
Do you think they're actually children?
Some of them definitely are, for sure.
Sorry, I love this comment. Why are VTubers ending up like disgraced Minecraft YouTubers? They're doing it at a record pace too.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
To be fair, this is a bunch of minors doing it to themselves.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Predators being in content creation isn't new. It was just really prevalent in Minecraft because in Minecraft, that's where the easiest access to children was.
Yeah.
I
There's
don't
0%
really.
chance that that's not an FBI setup.
That'd be funny if
Well,
it was.
I think one of the funniest tweets I saw about it was something along the lines of, if you tell me your favorite VTuber group is the one that's nothing but minors, I'm gonna side-eye you so hard.
Yeah. I agree.
Like who's your fans, right? Because at the end of the day, somebody who wants to support a VTuber is likely going to be looking for somebody that's like an adult that they can feel like safe around, I guess is
Yeah.
the right word.
No, yeah.
Because like adults aren't going to follow you if they think you're a minor, because we have to be too careful around kids that a lot of us just don't want to deal with it.
Yes, and I think it is safe to say that like VTubing is not like for kids. Whenever somebody says that they're a kid and they like being into VTubing, I was like, you shouldn't be here. This is an adult only field, and I feel like it should stay that way.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said that I think the best case scenario is every single kid has their parents over their shoulder managing their account. But
That
I know
would
that's
be-
not true.
yeah,
But that is absolute best case scenario.
yeah, that is 100% best case scenario. What's more likely is maybe one of their parents knows. Maybe. Oh man. A glowy. I pray it's a glowy operation. I'm just like, I'm
Unfortunately,
terrified.
Chad, I'm pretty sure it's not.
No, I don't think it is either. But this is one of those times where it's like, I wish it was, because that
Did
would
you
be.
see the picture of their models?
I did not.
So there's one of their models that I think is just, assuming everybody in the group is a child, deeply inappropriate. I saw some
dear.
people saying multiple of them were inappropriate. There's only one I think is like out there.
Oh, no.
Maybe two. There's where they are though. Can you guess which one I think is like the most problematic?
The brown one.
There's two brown
Shoot,
ones.
there is two brown. Shit. The one on the far right.
No, but she was one of the ones I thought was sus.
Which one then?
I think the orange hair is the worst.
Oh, why?
Because of the way the breasts are.
Oh yeah, that it was my first thought too.
And she's wearing like a onesie.
Shit, how much am I carrying? Oh shit.
Yeah, so clay and stone quarry you will continually mine. They just don't empty out. You have to manually stop. Oh, would you like a little Skyrim fun fact for your immersion?
Yes, please.
You do not have to actually click mine on mining spots. You can equip the pickaxe and swing it at the mining spot and it will still count.
Oh, okay.
I know it's kind of dumb, but it's one of those things I just think is kind of funny.
That is kind of funny. Tell me, they made their own VTuber models and it looks like those at the end of the Nintendo Power magazine.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would bring it up, but
they
you can't.
have.
Oh, go ahead.
They say they have artists that are working for free with them. Oh yeah, that was the thing. Everybody working with them is working for free.
Fuck. Oh, it's so weird. There was that one agency. Okay, chat, listen. There's not just one agency that hired a minor.
Did they
There's
lose
multiple.
a member? Wait. There's a new member somewhere. Okay, because now they say they have 8, but the picture I sent you, there's only 7.
Yeah. That is just yeah, chat. This is not the first. There's been more than one group that has had a kid in it, and that just feels sick to say, in my personal opinion.
I will say that some people are reacting to this a bit more poorly than they should.
What do you mean?
Well, I think a good example is somebody keeps trying to put a community note on it that just says something like VTubers should not be, or VTubing is not a place for children.
Mm-hmm.
And they cite, or they say VTuber is not a place for children, and you can be legally prosecuted for having children in your organization. And the links they provide are one to an Akio Air tweet, which Akio Air did not get legally prosecuted. They just got like shafted by
No.
the entire internet.
Yeah, and you should know because you've talked about it.
Yeah, and the other one is to another VTuber who I personally don't like, and they just have like a rant that just says VTubing is not a place for kids. And it's like, I agree, but like this isn't like an argument.
If that's being posted by, I bet you it's by that VTuber themselves.
Yeah.
Fucking hate.
But like it's like this isn't an argument. And then you have a lot of people that are trying to say like, I bet the owner's like a pedophile or something. Personally, this is so dumb. I believe the owner is a 19-year-old.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, because that's where you end up in like this weird spot, right? Where there is a non-zero chance, I think there's like a 50-50 chance that this is a creepy adult or this is a retarded child.
I would rather
I think
it be the retarded
it can go
child.
either way. Yeah. I just think it can go either way. And I think people that are like absolutely convinced it's one way or the other are not thinking straight.
Well, that's how
Man,
the
he
internet is. I just domed that woman.
Did not care.
Yeah, they both didn't care. That other one looked behind me. She's like, "Hey, how's it going? Bye."
It's where you find out they were nice people and they had like a little family up top and they were waiting to talk to you.
That one just dropped dead. Oh wait, it's probably because of Lydia. Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna do a
fuck.
little bit of Rise before we for the last bit of the stream.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, it's deeply inappropriate.
Oh, I agree. I agree, and it just bothers the fuck out of me. And I guess we'll have to wait a couple days before, we'll see how it actually goes. What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's gonna blow up. Because the thing is, if it is an actual like child in charge of it, that's not gonna work out because they're not gonna know how to like handle all of this like hate coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the other problem is, if it's an adult, it's creepy and they should know better. If it's a child, it's still dumb, but they're not gonna know better so much to the point that they're not gonna be able to handle this.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna be able to protect any of the like quote unquote talents because they don't know how to handle this.
I agree.
It's gonna be like such a huge problem.
Well, I think the next question that comes up is, since they're not adults, how the fuck are they going to make money? Because you can only like make money on these platforms if you have a bank account and you're 18.
I think some of them could lie about their age to be 18, but like I said, the one is 19. They
Yeah,
could make
that's
accounts
true.
for everybody.
That's very true. Giving it more good faith than it deserves. I mean, like,
I do think they said that all of them are 17 to 19.
Mhm.
So it's not like horrendously young. However, they also say that they are recruiting people as young as 14.
Oh. Yeah, that bothers me.
Yeah, it's very dumb. It's not gonna go well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And like to a degree, I sort of get like where kids are coming from with this kind of stuff. Because
Yeah.
like when I was a kid, I thought like I could be a YouTuber and I could be famous like PewDiePie.
I mean, we all did.
Yeah, and like so I get it, like why kids want to do it, but at the end of the day, it's just it's not safe.
No, not without adult supervision.
I don't. It's just one of the because I've talked about this before as well, like how me, Lumi, and everybody you know got groomed on Second Life and IMVU.
Yeah.
But all of us were like dumb kids who thought we were in the right when we did that. So like I understand the perspective of like how kids just assume they're in the right to do this stuff,
Yeah.
even though like we definitely were not.
No, 100%. Temp doesn't know how that's like, because Temp was inside all day.
I was.
Bitch.
I'm all for keeping squeakers as far away from the internet as possible, and having them stream is probably the worst thing they can do. Yeah. Like I said, best bet is parents are looking over their shoulder, managing everything. But not only am I like 100% sure that's not happening, I still don't think that's necessarily enough. Because there's like a kid YouTube channel that does like toy reviews or something.
Yeah.
And like I know he's probably doing it as safe as possible because I'm pretty sure his parents manage like his social medias and his channel and all that stuff. But even then, like, that's gonna follow him into adulthood.
Yes.
Like him doing like weird cringy skits and stuff with toys when he's a kid. That's just on the internet forever now. And he can't get rid of that. And like he doesn't know that right now, right? Because he's too young to understand it. That's never going to go away. That's going to be there forever.
Of course. It always takes a moment before children recognize the issue, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I know
And the
what
thing
you
is, the
mean.
parents should know. They like the money more than they care about their kid, which I think sucks.
Yeah. Temp, when you were young, did you want to make a YouTube channel?
I did.
What did you want to do?
Let's Plays.
That's what everybody wanted to do.
And now we're
I got
over here
to-
talking about news.
Yeah.
I got to play games and potentially make money off it. Like, that's a dream.
Yeah, it is. Technically, you kind of are. You're getting there, at least.
I'm getting there now. Just took, 20 years.
Isn't Ryan's Toy Reviews already a teenager? I think so.
Oh, the new anime Dark Souls comes out in 2 weeks.
Which one?
AI Limit.
Okay.
I'll send it to you so after the stream you can look at it. I have it on my wish list, but I'm not 100% sure how interested I am in it. Because I don't know the company behind it. It's Sense Games.
Yeah.
This is like the only thing they've released. And it's being published by CE Asia.
Every kid wanted to be a Let's Player? Yeah, they did.
Everybody wanted to be PewDiePie. Or
Exactly.
Markiplier. Or Jacksepticeye.
Alright. They want us to go to High Hrothgar, but we're not going there just yet.
But like as a parent, you're supposed to recognize what's best for your kid.
Of course. Richard, thank you for the 2. I love Temp's mouth agape. It looks funny to me. There you go, Temp. You got a fan. Oh, goodness. Well, is there anything video game related that you're interested in right now, Mizu, besides that video game creator getting one guide?
Oh, not particularly.
No.
We ended up somebody brought up in chat, so we ended up talking about Grums.
Oh,
And I just
gosh.
kind of mentioned how the only reason I ever liked Grums was because of Firefall. Yeah, I was very disappointed that Firefall just kind of died in the crib.
Well, that's because they kicked him out of the game.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of upset that Firefall died in the crib and it never
Firefall
went
was
anywhere
so
else.
good because it was like, I feel like Firefall was what Destiny ended up becoming.
Yeah, I showed the what do you call it, the trailer in chat, and I was like, this is what it was, and I really liked it, and this is the only reason I ever really liked Grums was because this existed.
Yeah. You want to know what's funny?
What?
Grums and Thor are exactly the same. They both worked for the same company. They both are creating video games that are not actually coming out anytime soon. And they both sit on the internet and talk about stuff not related to the profession that they used to have. They're both exactly the same. The only difference is one is a nepo baby and one of them is Grums. You know what I mean?
Wasn't Thor just like a QA tester though?
I think he was some sort of programmer. I have no idea. According to him, he's an uber super duper hacker, so
He's a master hacker.
This has come up with a bunch of people because I think a lot of people do think he is like a IT hacker, but he's not. He was a social hacker.
Yeah.
Which is very different. There's still a skill to it, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, he does a really good job at it because he's able to convince people that he's not the evil bad guy that everybody thinks he is. And because of that, people just eat up his stuff. Did you see that response video he made a couple weeks ago? I covered it my other night.
I did not.
So in the response video, he talks about everything that actually does not matter to actual criticisms to him. He talks about why he hasn't updated Heartbound, which is kind of a real criticism. He talks about him cheating in video games, which nobody cares about. He talks about the what was it? The Half-Life 2 models and the person that was working on them. But the one he didn't talk about two things. He didn't talk about him roaching out in the video game when he ran away in WoW, and he didn't talk about how he falsely DMCA struck somebody. And those were the only two things that people actually cared about. He talked about everything else that didn't matter, but when it comes to the actual thing that's like potentially unlawful for him to do, he just didn't talk about it.
I will say, personally, I do care a little bit about the cheating in the video game thing. Just because, like, I saw the clip of him on stream in the exact same video game going, like, we don't read guides. People that read guides suck and they don't actually play the game.
Yeah.
And then he's over here, while saying that, actively cheating, and it's just like...
On his phone.
Okay, bro. Like...
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You want to know what his excuse for that was? So his excuse was that he's been to multiple DEF CONs, which I guess are these challenge... games where people have to solve a bunch of cryptographic puzzles, and his excuse is I solve all these puzzles and I make all these puzzles for my video game Heartbound, so there's no way I could cheat because I'm just uber duper super smart. And I'm just like, that's not an excuse, bro. You can still cheat if you're not good at the game. Like,
yeah, that was just one of those things where I was like. Like, my issue isn't that, like, you cheated. It's that you're just, like, an ass about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just don't be an ass about it and I'd be fine.
And he is. It's just like...
Or he didn't have to say anything at all, I think is probably, like, the best way to take that, right?
Yeah.
Because when that first came out, I think before I saw the clip, my take was, okay, I don't really care. Because, especially with, like, puzzle-heavy games... A lot of people for those kind of games don't want to sit there and watch a streamer sit in the exact same room for 2 hours because they can't figure it out. Because at some point it just becomes boring and annoying.
I agree.
So, like, yeah, it makes sense that you'd kind of get like a rough idea of where you're going to go and what you need to do. But then I see the clip of him talking about it the whole time, just going, oh, I'm so smart, and people that use guides are such dumbasses. Like, can you believe people use guides? It's like, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's okay to admit use a guide. I use one. For,
it's
whenever I need, I use it.
It's the ego thing that really gets me. Really quickly, by the way, because I've missed these here. Mercenary for 2. A guy at GameSpy got me into Firefall Beta. Oh, interesting. Interesting. And then Richard for
GameSpy.
2. GameSpy. Oh, and then Richard for 2. How much for cuddles with all of you? A lot of money. I mean, you can view Mizu for free, but it's a little expensive to get cuddles with me. Sorry, should I not have said that?
I mean, I've changed some parts now. You have to pay for it.
Oh, fair. I have a lot of gold. Let's see. What can I get rid of?
I need to decide what monster I'm going to farm. I'm thinking Lagombi.
But no, yeah, my opinion, and Tiff, I don't know what your opinion is, but I just like look at Thor and I'm just like, man, can you be humble at all? Like, if you were humble, a lot of the shit where he's like, I'm not a Nepo baby, look at all these, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I said this during the stream, it doesn't matter if your dad says that you're not a Nepo baby, it doesn't matter if your boss didn't know who your dad was. There is still so many factors that go into it where I just think you're a Nepo baby because I think you're a Nepo baby. And there's no way in hell that you can change my mind on that. And he's just going to have to deal with that, but he refuses to.
Yeah.
He has to disprove everybody. Everybody has to be wrong so that he can be right. And that's why I don't like him.
Like, because there's some stuff that... if he didn't focus on it so hard, I probably would have just naturally been on his side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a big one is the voice thing, where he brought up that people were accusing him of putting on a voice. And I was like, okay, if I saw that somewhere, I would just be like, okay, that's probably just not true.
Yeah.
But then you watch him on stream, and he's just constantly whining about it. It's like... the lady doth protest a little bit too much.
I agree. I mean, like, here's the thing. I know he's not because, like, you can watch clips of him where he's talking to other people, and he's not. However, he complains about it so much that it does not help him whatsoever. It just makes me want to believe that it is fake more. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, because now when you say that, it's like, okay, so you're putting on the voice with everybody. You're so insecure that you have it on all times.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because, like, why else are you constantly fighting with people about it? Like, it's not a huge accusation. Oh, that reminded me, because I watched a bunch of random clips today, and one of the ones I saw was in a YouTube video that came out about Ethan Klein and
Which
him
one?
being a douchebag. Jimmy Robbins?
I don't think I watched that one. Is it well, tell me about it. Maybe I'll watch it.
He kind of goes on, like, all the stuff Ethan has been doing lately that has caused him to get shit, which is a lot of stuff. And it's what's inspired my tweet earlier, where I said it's kind of annoying that, like, all these larger creators only seem to care when Ethan started talking shit about them.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things he brought up was Ethan got in trouble because he accused a Markiplier of putting on a voice.
Really?
And it was one of those things where it's like, why does he care? Like, why does anybody care? It's literally just a clip of Ethan going, I'm telling you, Markiplier puts on a voice. That's not his real voice. It's like, okay, that's a dumb accusation to make. And it's equally dumb that all of you seem to severely care about this.
Oh no, yeah. Like, I think a lot of people care too much about his opinion. I feel like to a lesser extent, I mean, like, we're not horrible people. Well,
I am.
Fair enough. But I don't think we're Ethan Klein levels of horrible. But, like, I think I think a lot of bigger people care about us like that. You want to know what's crazy? I didn't tell you about this, but did you know that Johnny definitely knows about us? Because, like, I saw him comment on somebody's tweet when talking about me, saying, "Oh yeah, those people are liars and habitual. They're like freaks and liars." And I'm just sitting here like,
oh, I knew he knew about
it.
Well, the thing, we knew that he knew about us because he is likely the reason Lumi got passed over for a certain group.
Yeah, of course.
So he had to have seen it.
But I just didn't think he would ever talk about it because I didn't think he was that stupid. And he's like, nope, he is that stupid. He's going to talk about it.
I hated Ethan Klein before it was cool. Me too. For those of you who didn't get to see it, my tweet today was basically just, I think every large YouTuber at this point is basically Ethan Klein, and they all deserve each other. And I hope that they all turn into him one day.
Yeah.
Like, body shape and all.
I briefly talked about that on stream, but yeah, I believe that all big creators just, like, have all kinds of immorality and they're okay with each other until they can't be okay with somebody. And I think Ethan Klein's time was October 7th. And that's why everybody hates him, is because he's the Jew, he's the weird Jew out, basically.
Yeah. I think one I saw was, I forget who it was, because there were two different ones. There was one that was Ludwig, and then there was one that was someone else. They were talking about Ethan, and they said something along the lines of, I could put up with, like, all of other Ethan's, like, little flaws, but he called my girlfriend a liar, so, like, clearly he's a piece of shit now. It's
I think that was him, Ludwig.
It might have been, and I was just like, none of the other stuff set you off. It was just him saying, not even calling your girlfriend a liar. He showed like a clip of a streamer award thing.
Yep.
And he's like, this person won the streamer award for Rising Star this year and the next year.
Oh yeah, no,
and he's
that
like, you're
was, yeah.
calling my girlfriend a liar by saying that. It's like, okay, bro.
Yeah, so the context was Frogan had Ethan Klein had gotten backwards the way that Frogan had won, like, the Rising Star Award at the Streamer Awards, which is Cutie Cinderella's whole glazing thing that Ludwig is supportive of. And so Ludwig is like, oh, he got it wrong, and I just wish he got the context right. And what's funny is the context is he just got the dates wrong.
Wrong.
It's just like, why do you care that much? Because you got to be opposed to Ethan. And it's just like, well, you guys were all sucking each other off until the moment you couldn't anymore. So I fucking hate y'all.
And the thing is, even getting the dates wrong, Ethan was still right on that. Because it's really dumb that you can be nominated 2 years in a row for something like Rising Star.
Yeah, okay.
Are you just still rising?
Can I just say, if you're Rising Star 2 years in a row, you're not rising, you're decreasing.
Yeah.
Like,
so that was all his point, was like, because she was related to the event organizer, that she got nominated twice in a row for something that should only ever happen once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
It's
this
like-
the older game temp? Yes, it is.
And it's one of those things like, okay, like I sort of get you guys, but he first off, he's not lying. He never accused you of lying about it. He just accused you of doing it twice in a row, which you did, factually speaking.
Pretty much.
But my point isn't even like that. It's like, that's where you draw the line on him talking shit about people and spreading misinformation, is mistakenly pointing out that you did this twice in a row when it happened the opposite way around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what about what he tried to like get all these smaller YouTubers removed for criticizing him? But did that not like rub you the wrong way?
Oh yeah, I agree. What bothers me the most is there's always going to be creators that like were critical of him. I think the commentary community is doing this a little bit, where the commentary community is like, oh guys, Ethan was bad back then, and we definitely criticized him, but we really like what he's doing with Hassan right now, so we're kind of okay with him. And I'm just sitting here like, I can be okay with him criticizing Hassan, but still think he's a douchebag. You know what I mean? So I don't really understand why there's so much glazing for him starting when he sucks.
Yeah, and it's at the point where they just need to admit it.
Really quickly, Richard for 199. Greg Miller's an irredeemable monster. I don't know who that is. And then for another 199, thoughts on Synthetic Man. I think he's a POS incel. Synthetic Man.
I choose not to watch his content.
I'm unfamiliar with this guy.
I'm only vaguely aware of, don't like his content, and when I'm only vaguely aware of somebody, I don't like talking about them. Because then I'm liable to say something stupid.
Gator says, you mean the Desorio constant friend enemy flip flop? I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's him with
constant.
everybody though.
Yeah, no, of course. When he can't.
Diorio is constantly like changing back and forth depending on what's best for him.
And what's crazy is people don't recognize it yet, because he did it with Destiny. I mean, just recently with Destiny.
I would argue they don't care. So this is the thing with like a lot of commentary YouTubers. Very few of them have a redeemable personality. I don't know how many of them you've watched before.
I watched a decent chunk of them.
Yeah, most of them are kind of just suck as people.
I agree.
And they're very bland. They're very boring. Most people watch them for the news, which is why when you see they do like these little side projects, they get no traction. Like I hate comparing stuff to us, because then somebody's gonna be like, you're so small, you're nobodies, which like we are. But whenever we do like little side projects, we get like a substantial number of our followers to go look at it, right? And that's just because like our followers actually like us.
No, I agree.
Whenever they do like a little project, I saw one of them, I'm not saying Diorio, it was another like big commentary YouTuber that did like a pre-order plush thing. And it didn't even like meet its goal.
You're talking about Boblax.
Was it him?
Yes, it was Boblax. Excuse me, Boblax is he, they, them now. Actually, no, they're all pronouns.
Yeah, I think it was them that they did something like that, and they didn't even meet their goal.
Yeah,
because like genuinely nobody gives a shit about them.
Yeah. And what's fun? So with the whole Boblax thing, he had to have Ethan Klein buy. First, Ethan Klein bought them and then refunded them because Boblax was critical of him, and it's just like, oh, another moment for Ethan Klein. And then like fucking what's his name, Keemstar bought the rest of them, and then they lorded that over his head forever. And it's just like, yeah, I think Boblax is kind of dumb, and he just should sit down and read the tweets and not try and do all of his other side shit. But like, I don't know, the whole thing was stupid. Is Temp dead? No, he's just listening.
No, I'm not dead. I have nothing to add to this, so I'm not talking.
I'm sorry, Temp.
But yeah, the issue with a lot of them has basically nothing to do with like any of that. It's just they don't have fans that care.
No.
People are only there for like their news stuff, and then outside of that, they're like, okay, we don't want to hear from you again.
I would say that Turkey Tom is the closest to actually having good fans, because you know he's produced content, although he's not necessarily that much commentary. He's become more commentary recently. Although him going more into commentary, I feel like has been bad for him because him talking more on streams has led
people
to...
are always going to make fun of him for being a cuck.
Well, yeah.
Like, that's stuck with him now.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that if he didn't do that, if he didn't walk into that field, he probably would have been more ironclad. But because he came out and said, yeah, I'm a cuck, and I've cheated on my girlfriend, and she's cheated on me, and apparently he's got a new girlfriend now. Did you see that? He's got a new girlfriend that made him try on, like, cat ears and wear a cat tail and all that kind of stuff. And he was like totally...
I mean, more power to him.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh, Turkey Tom, this is stuff that you make fun of people for doing.
Yeah, that's a thing, like, with especially that side of the internet. Once you're into that field, you can no longer do anything that can be considered degenerate, or else, like, now you look like a hypocrite.
Exactly.
I'm not saying, like, he's nearly as degenerate as some of the stuff that he's covered, because, like, he covered a thing that released today about, like, pedophile diaper zoo sadist.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot going on with that one. I don't know if you got to see it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Chew.
I'm going to be listening to it tomorrow.
So I will say this, because I mentioned this in my chat. Of all the fucking people to understand, for the most part, what POCD was, did not expect it to be Turkey Tom.
Wait, Turkey Tom talked about it?
Yeah, in that video.
And did he get it right?
He got it mostly right.
Really?
He partially got it wrong towards the end, where he said that it was a condition where somebody who was abused as a child was afraid of reoffending, or was afraid of offending themselves as an adult, which can happen, but, like, that's not necessarily what it is.
Yeah,
and it doesn't
not,
require you to be abused as a kid. But he actually talked about it as, like, acknowledging that it was a real condition without trying to be like, this is a fake piece of shit that pedos use. He was just like, this is what POCD is, and there's a possibility this guy has it, but it doesn't excuse his behavior.
That is really quickly, Wolfsbane, you have a good night. Thank you for the 2.
It just threw me off that of all the people to get it right, he got it mostly right.
I can't believe
way more
that.
right than both Rev Says Desu and Kirsch.
I can't believe that. That is insane. Again, I think that that Rev Says Desu probably quieted down because I don't know if you said something, but he stopped talking about it, and that's probably for the best. I mean, I haven't heard that Kirsch has talked about it either. And as I've told people, I don't know anything about it or know enough to make a comment, so I'm not going to give a comment on it. I just thought that was funny.
Sorry, chat, you had it right. It was Pamper Chew.
It was Pamper Chew. Oh,
yeah. Oh, so that was I actually found Pamper Chew to be the least interesting part of that video. So apparently Pamper Chew has, like, a lot of friends in the furry community that are all over the place. And one of the ones he was friends with was, have you ever seen the video of all the people in fursuits singing All the Single Ladies?
No.
I have to send it to you later. It's a very famous video. People have posted it all the time. And it was one of those videos I didn't really judge very harshly. Because, like, yeah, it's cringy, but, like, you know, everybody's kind of cringy in
But
their
I'm cringy too.
Yeah, like, everybody's always cringy in their community. So I'll make fun of it when it pops up, but I'm not going to, like, go harangue the guy for it. Turns out, because this randomly came up in this Pamper Chew video, the guy that made that is up for, like, so many crimes. Like, just a whole laundry list of illegal shit. And I was like, okay. All right. I didn't know all that. Like, there's all kinds of stuff, like, ranging from, like, just indecent exposure to domestic abuse. Like, the whole list. And it threw me off. I thought it was just a cringe furry music video. I don't know why nobody's ever told me about this.
That is kind of crazy. Buy a hat for your hat. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Have you ever watched the Internet Historian video about a event called Rainforest?
Yes, I did. That was one of my favorite videos to listen to him.
Apparently, not only did Pamper Chew know the people that was doing the weird shit at Rainforest, he was friends with them.
Oh no.
He shows a clip where he mentions that he specifically knows the people that left, like, nitrous oxide canisters all over the event.
Oh.
I was like, wow, this is like a I did not expect this deep dive on like all these other events I had like vague knowledge about. Rainforest, yeah, I have to just recommend watch the Internet Historian video on it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it was a furry event at a hotel that was so bad that they have been permanently banned from ever hosting an event in any of that hotel chain. And they also, in the city they're in, their reputation at that specific hotel chain was so bad that no other hotel in the area will sell to them either.
And they started spreading that to multiple other hotels in like multiple different states as well.
Yeah, it just the Rainforest will basically never happen again, at least with the organizers it had, because they had that bad of a reputation.
Yeah.
There was stuff from like dirty diapers that were being left around to people breaking their smoke detectors in their rooms so they could hotbox it.
Yeah.
Somebody stole a bunch of towels and plugged up their pool and like screwed it up. Somebody brought a drill to the event and drilled a glory hole in the bathroom.
I hope people get prosecuted for that. Furry event,
Back,
two
Jack.
words that shouldn't be together. Yes.
But yeah, Rainforest was a. You just have to watch the Internet Historian video on it. There was so much wild shit that happened at it.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
so funny.
Maybe I need to re-listen to it again, but that shit was wild.
I would re-listen to his videos every so often.
Yeah, same here.
I still really like the Area 51 video, mostly because of the ending for it, where he does the whole little animation. I think it's so funny.
Oh, I agree. That one was pretty good. So here's a question. You know the Internet Historian was accused of plagiarizing.
Yeah, and I think it was dumb.
I agree.
Here's where I kind of end up in a weird spot, right? So, and I don't think enough people called H-Bomber Guy out on this. Plagiarism is a college thing, or like a school thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the real world, quote, plagiarism is not like a crime. So I don't really know where his accusation came from with that. And most people, when they refer to something that could maybe be considered plagiarism, they don't really call it plagiarism. They'll say like they're stealing XYZ, right? Because there is a lot of YouTubers that will steal somebody's whole like shtick. They'll copy their thumbnails, they'll copy their video beats, they'll copy everything about it.
Right. I mean,
And
like,
people typically say they're copying me, not they're plagiarizing me. And the thing with the Internet Historian stuff is, yes, he did technically, like, quote-unquote, plagiarize a news article, but he converted it into, like, a whole video and everything.
and one
for
would
me,
say that's
that's-
another medium.
Yeah, that's completely transformative. At this point, we're calling out plagiarism because of moral implications, not because of any, like, legal implications.
Right.
And then you have to find people that actually care about the quote morals that you're espousing in
I
regards
agree.
to
Back,
it.
Jack.
And for me, I didn't care. I didn't think there was like a moral. And what really killed that video for me was two things. The first was the joke about Hassan, where he then mentions in a follow-up, like on Twitter, that he does not believe Hassan counts as like a content thief. Or
I remember
plagiarist.
that because he had to carry weight for Hassan. Oh yeah, that just ruined all of his credibility.
So that ruined a lot of his credibility. The other thing that ruined a lot of his credibility was he said that commentary YouTubers were all plagiarists because they just stole tweets to read. And I was like, that's not how that works.
I guess we're plagiarists too then.
Well, because that is such a loose definition of plagiarist that he would have to accuse the original article Internet Historian plagiarized of plagiarism, because it is an article recounting other news articles that came from the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's a plagiarist, so is the original person that wrote the article, because their article or their blog or whatever they had written is just a whole big collection of information they've stolen from other people.
Yeah. I agree.
Like it's so dumb And it doesn't help that at the start of his internet historian section on it, he tries to bring up internet historian being, quote, right wing. It's like, now you just sound like you're being malicious.
Yeah. Tim, do you remember that when people were saying the internet historian was right wing? Because people believe
No.
that because
He made a 420 joke.
he made a 420 joke. I think he made a Hitler did nothing wrong joke a couple times. Oh, what else? He's had certain people on. Oh, he had JonTron on his channel, so of course he's a Nazi.
The cave video is a echo chamber, bunch of mouth breathers ignoring how much actual work IH put into the vid. Like, yeah, that's the thing. There's so much work that went into that vid that just because he took a couple lines from an article verbatim doesn't mean anything. Like, and at what point does it go from transformative to plagiarism? Because H-Bomber Guy has videos on Dark Souls where he reads out entire item descriptions directly from the game, and he reads out entire like character dialogues from the game. Does that count as plagiarism? Because you're just reading it all out word for word with no transformation. He has to understand that he has made like such a broad definition of plagiarism that everybody can be caught by it.
No, I agree, and it's just like it's an impossible. What sucks the most is people are going to use him as a way of saying, "Oh, the people are going to use him as a authority figure," and it's just like these are the wrong people, and yet they still keep getting prominence. And I mean, I do understand, but I don't understand why these people still keep getting attention. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Because they were famous at one point, and now they're famous because they're famous.
I guess. Richard, thank you for the 5. Hassan is literally the Breaking Bad meme. He can't keep getting away with it. We're getting to that. We're almost at that point in Breaking Bad with me and Ava. We're almost in season 5 now.
But yeah, his whole video is dumb.
I
That's
agree.
not the only video I think he's done.
Well, did you hear that video almost got somebody to commit?
Who? Oh, yeah.
Like a gay guy after he said...
Back in his troll days.
Yeah. Well, no, like a gay guy, when he made that video, almost ended their life because...
oh, no,
it
most
ruined
people
them.
assume that guy was lying. He has a history of faking shit for
Well,
sympathy.
I know, but a lot of people still thought that H-Bomber Guy was a shitty person for it, and I think that really backfired on him.
Yeah, no, that definitely affected him. I personally didn't hold that against him.
I
'cause,
don't think you should.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm kind of like... I kind of feel like if this happened to me, you'd throw me under the bus. If this happened to like Internet Historian, you'd probably throw him under the bus. So I'm not gonna blame it on you. I'm not gonna defend you either.
Yeah. That guy was a loser about it. Oh, he was. I agree, but like H-Bomber Guy just sucks. I loved that Jim Mediker made a meme about it when he did talk about H-Bomber Guy.
Like with H-Bomber Guy and a lot of people like him, when stuff like that happens, I'm like, well, you're the one that hoisted the cross. I'm not going to prevent them from nailing you to it because you wanted to put somebody else on it. So
Yeah.
you kind of made your bed. You can lie in it. I don't care. If people ask me what I think, I'll tell them like to their face. Like, I don't think he should be heavily judged for it. And they're like, well, why aren't you defending him then? It's like, because I don't care. He's a dick. He kind of has it coming.
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of people where it's just like, I won't judge you because my principles tell me that I shouldn't, but I also am not going to defend you either.
Yeah, I'm not jumping in the crossfire for you.
It's not worth it.
You're the one that put yourself there. There's a lot of people like that where it's like, I'm not defending you.
Okay, so
I can see you're slowly learning the weirdness of Skyrim, where there's some places that look like it's a secret area to go to, and then it's just like weird geometry.
yeah, I am learning that very slowly. Oh, fire mages.
Skyrim gets memed on a lot for reasons it very much deserves, even though it's genuinely just very fun to play.
Why is this fire mage hard to kill? They literally are made of cloth and bone. I have an axe.
Yes.
They should be mowed down immediately.
By that statement, do people that do lore dive videos plagiarize from the creators then? Basically. He made his statement way too broad. Because technically the version that's used in like colleges is very broad. But it's broad because it's used in a very specific context. Once you go outside of that context, the definition doesn't become useful anymore. And I think he's just too dumb to realize that.
Oh, some people are just eternally retarded.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mizu, did you watch the Runaway Guys or some the old Nintendo Let's Players?
No.
No? Oh, never mind then.
The only old quote-unquote Let's Player I ever watched was JonTron and Game Grumps.
Fair enough.
And I stopped when JonTron left.
That's when a lot of people stopped. Oh, gosh.
Look, for a while, Danny was fine. I'm not gonna lie, Danny still carries that show.
Oh, yes, he does. Without Danny, Aaron... I think Aaron knows that, which is... how much seething do you think that Aaron does on a day-to-day basis, knowing that without Danny, he would be absolutely nothing?
I probably a lot, because even now, every episode that's just Danny and Ross is just better.
I agree.
I don't think Aaron actually has that much he adds, other than sits there and whines about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of his freakouts have been funny, but they're funny in, like, a sad way.
No, yeah, I agree. like the artist one he had on Twitter a couple of years ago, that one was really funny.
Yeah. He's more funny in a sad way.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's my question. How long before you think he'll turn out?
I don't know. I kind of think he already has, and he's just not telling anybody.
You think so?
A little bit.
Well, fair enough.
I miss when Aaron did cartoons. That's been a long time, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Aaron hasn't done cartoons forever, and I don't think he'll ever go back. He even said himself, I don't think he'll ever go back.
Oh, yeah. Somebody put it into really good words at one point, but the teal deer is... Aaron and JonTron specifically split because JonTron actually wanted to do work and Aaron wanted to be lazy.
Yeah.
And that was like basically the long and short of it is, and they both kind of publicly said this in their own ways, but JonTron really thought Game Grumps could be like a big thing, like a big production, and he wanted to do a big production. He wanted to do skits. He wanted to make it just a nicer thing all around. And Aaron was like, no, this is my thing where I come and I can sit down and do literally nothing and get paid for it.
Yeah.
And I want it to stay that way.
No, yeah. And it's just like, when you have two conflicting things like that, there's really only one option. One of you has to leave. And JonTron was like, well, I want to put more quality into this, and I'm not willing to waste my time here. You know what I mean? So
once it officially comes out that Danny has been deep dicking Susie.
Oh, gosh.
Well, we already found out that, God, what's his name? Pro Jared was dicking Commander Holly.
That was pretty funny.
You know, I don't know, Ross's relationship with his wife, if they have, like, an open marriage or whatever the fuck is going on over there.
Oh, he divorced her.
Did he?
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, like, in that situation, like, because I think Ross was always one of the few people in Game Grumps I really liked, like, as a person, not just as like an entertainer. So when the Pro Jared thing came out, I think people dropped it really quick when it was very apparent that Jared had not actually done anything wrong, like legally speaking, like with kids.
Yeah.
But then when it came, everybody just kind of ignored. That's like, oh yeah, he was sleeping with Holly. Like, what happened with that? And then everybody just dropped it after that, and I was like, no, I kind of feel weird about that. Like, did Ross know? Was it like an agreed thing?
You know what sucks about Ross? I think that he is legitimately like had the worst out of everybody in Game Grumps. I think he's had the worst run of it because he's just there to do his thing. Everything shitty is happening around him. The company that he was in, like, I think he left, not left, but like he's no longer really part of Game Grumps in the same way.
Yeah.
Doing his own thing. And I still think the guy is not a bad person. I think he has some stupid opinions sometimes, but he's not a bad guy. And he really got the rawest deal out of all of them.
I will say, chat, because I don't believe that Pro Jared should have been treated the way he was necessarily. I do still believe that he is kind of morally repugnant.
Bro,
Is that like wrong to say?
Pro Jared?
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Well, the thing is, he was still like sexting fans, which I typically think is a no-no. Oh, you can't do anything with that.
Oh, fair enough.
You got to hit the tripwire on the side.
Yeah. I think Ross Nuba kept quiet. Isn't that really sad?
Yeah. But same thing with Danny and Pro Jared. Is both of them were kind of sleeping around with fans, which is like, don't really like it.
Oh yeah,
and
I
then-
remember when it came out that like Danny was caught sleeping around with people, and I'm just like, there's no way he's gonna get away with it, and then he did.
Yeah. Pro Jared's wife was worse. I'm on the fence about that, right? Because the thing is, I need to know the relationship agreement between Ross and Holly, because if there is not like some agreement where she could be outside of the marriage, then that means Pro Jared was knowingly sleeping with his friend's wife.
Ross still to this day makes fun of people who like JonTron and Game Grumps more than Danny. Really? That's kind of
Yeah.
shitty.
Now Ross is kind of a dick sometimes.
I mean, he's an artist. Artists are half and half.
None of you have a chance with Mizu, sorry. I didn't say that.
You got to find the right one.
Yeah.
Got to find the right femboy. I saw what you said on Twitter about how you were watching a femboy, and it turned out that they were female. How did that How did that go? How did you happen upon that?
That was just a joke.
Oh, it wasn't real?
That's why I ended it with Stolen Valor. No, there's videos like that around. But typically that's like in the title, like my best friend was a girl or something kind of deals.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of said it as a joke though. I was thinking about some fun stuff to tweet.
Fair enough. H-Bomber Guy stole articles from Fallout Wiki for his old videos.
Yeah. I noticed Rubber Ross before the marriage scandal was live streaming in a black leather jacket with a cute demon girl mascot.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I do understand the stigma of when you see somebody with a female mascot and they are a dude, sometimes you side-eye them and wonder if there's something going on. Like, I totally get that, because there was something that went on with me. And so whenever I see a dude with a female model, I think Proton John is my most recent example. I'm like, are you okay?
I only think that with large creators.
Really?
With like smaller people, I think a lot of times they're just kind of choosing something they like. Like a popular one is sometimes you'll see people have like very generic PNGs of like an anime girl they like,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes they'll have one of like their OC. And
Well,
a lot
I mean,
of guys
Temp
have
does that.
like
And Temp's
yeah,
just
like
fine.
a lot of
Temp's
guys
just
have like
fine.
female OCs because they just you'd prefer to look at a female all the time than a male is like the common response.
That's fair. That's fair.
So for like smaller creators, when they're not trying to form an identity for themselves, they're just trying to have fun. I think it's a lot more common for them to have like all kinds of weird like models and images to show themselves. But when you're like an established creator and you kind of swap over to using like a female model if you're male or a male model if you're female, I think you're trying to tell your fans something.
Uh-huh.
Or if you continue that into like you're making it a business now and you're still not changing to something more normalized, I think you're probably there was something deeper going on there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
With smaller creators, I don't think it's a weird thing.
Oh, fair
I
enough.
think it's pretty common.
Sorry, Temp, you're not weird.
I know.
If it
That's
turns out the femboy you liked is actually a woman, are you still gay or are you straight? Depends if you had sex or not.
Really?
I mean, at that point, you probably would know.
I watched The Road, which is one of the inspirations for The Last of Us, and it was a bleak movie. I've heard stuff about it. I don't really want to watch it because I don't like sad stuff.
We talked about The Last of Us tonight. Did you hear that there's potentially no more Last of Us?
Good.
Imagine watching a male with a female OC. Yep.
I know, right?
Doesn't every Aaron drama end with him relenting or folding quickly?
Yes.
Some of them do. there have been a couple times where he's just like quadrupled down and then disappeared when nobody would agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back like 2 weeks later.
Wasn't the artist one with Sir Pello the one where he just kind of stopped talking and disappeared?
Yeah, he refused to admit he was wrong, even though like literally every single person he ever knew on Newgrounds came out and says, "Yeah, you're an asshole."
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, because he was. He just like said that everybody on this old website that used to be so nice to him and so friendly to him was just a bunch of assholes that were evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bro, come on.
Like, what do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah, you expect all of them are gonna be like, "Yep, we are all assholes and we're all evil." Especially, he shouldn't have referenced his Newgrounds days at all when he did that, because out of every single creator on Newgrounds, he was probably one of the spiciest ones of the popular guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were spicier people on Newgrounds, but out of all the big creators, like Zerial and Sir Palo and stuff, Aaron was definitely the spiciest of them. And it's like, you probably shouldn't.
Probably should.
What
keep
happened
your
with
mouth
Sir
shut.
Palo? I forget what he was making fun of. I think he made fun of Storytime.
Yes, he made fun of Storytime creators, and Aaron came up and said, "These are my friends, and I can't believe you would do this to them."
Yeah, he said he was an asshole, and that his kind of work should have been left in the old Newgrounds era, where everybody was an asshole, or he should move to Newgrounds because everyone over there is an asshole. And I think he forgot that everyone on Newgrounds has like multiple accounts on other websites now.
Mm-hmm.
So the old Newgrounds people saw what he said, and they're like, "Bro, we were friends. What do you mean? And like, we were so nice to you. What do you mean we're all assholes?"
It's like, you're an asshole. I like, that is definitely a way to push away everybody that you used to enjoy.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Yeah.
Then I took an
And like, they weren't even small people either. Like, I think the first one to call him out was Zerial, who has like really good videos for
Mhm.
some of his stuff. I think Derpaxion made a comment about it as well.
Really?
Mostly known for their porn stuff, but that's
Yes.
beside the point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if they got their start on Newgrounds, which I'm pretty sure they did, it's just like, yeah, they're gonna.
I don't know if they got their start on Newgrounds. I know they stay over there a lot now.
I used to be an adventurer in my day.
Aaron cucked NG for Storytime animation,
someone's story.
the thing that basically replaced NG animation from being profitable. Yeah,
How the fuck did they not see me just accidentally steal an ingot from them and not do anything? Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna question it.
but yeah, Aaron was the king of Newgrounds a-holes, as chat said. At least for the time. Like I said, there was spicier people, but Aaron was the only one that had like a real following behind him. So it's funny when he talks about those days and he says everybody else was the problem. It's like, you were literally the worst one.
Yeah, it is
Bro.
really. It is just kind of like, broski, you have no room to speak whatsoever. You know, it has to be some kind of oh, what is it called?
No, somebody in chat said it. It's trolls remorse.
Yeah, it's trolls remorse, and a lot of people
It's
go
what
through
H
that.
Bomber guy has. It's what Aaron has. And we probably use that a little too liberally, but because it really applies to H Bomber because he was an actual troll. But I think it applies to anyone who has like who used to do edgy content. iDubbbz as well.
Yep. Okay,
And
speaking of IDA,
Trolls remorse, by the way, guys, isn't just somebody that regrets being edgy back in the day. It's somebody that overcorrects, right? To the point they're denouncing everyone edgy, and they're like shitting on like all this wide swath of content and saying it's evil and it's wrong and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it's trolls remorse. Because some people do just grow up and they're like, yeah, I don't really feel comfortable being like edgy anymore, and that's fine, right? People are allowed to not like how they acted at one point.
You smooth out.
It's the overcorrection.
Yeah, speaking of iDubbbz, I watched the Sam Hyde documentary recently again, and I was really surprised to see just how happy he was. Like, I believe that his personality died on that documentary with Sam Hyde.
Oh, 100%.
Because that was the last time where it looked like he actually was enjoying himself doing stuff. it was
I
just
think
really
the Sam
crazy.
Hyde documentary really broke him to a degree.
Mhm.
Because when the whole thing, he thought that he was going to go in and he was going to like absolutely BTFO Sam Hyde. And then the only serious part of the documentary where I think he got a serious response from Sam Hyde was about the false flag thing, like way back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he expected like Sam Hyde to like quadruple down or something all these years later and be like, yeah, I flagged your shit and I'll do it again. And instead he had like a genuine response, which I think is the only time in that documentary he gives iDubbbz a genuine response.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's no
Hey.
bueno. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, I was like doing a thing back in the day and your video would have like ruined the project I was working on. It was wrong of me and I shouldn't have done it. But
Yeah.
there was a reason I was trying to work on a project. And you just see like iDubbbz's face just he wants to be mad at him still.
And he can't be. He can't be
Yeah,
whatsoever.
he just got a genuine nice response from Sam Hyde of all people.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell on his face he doesn't know how to respond because he's like, I still hate you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like the
He's
entire.
like, I still have this burning hatred for you, but if I say anything, like everyone's gonna think I'm the asshole.
And they did. Everybody did think he was the asshole because after that he's like, shit, fuck, I can't put out this documentary. And then he puts it out because Sam Hyde's like, I don't think iDubbbz is ever going to put this out, so we're going to put out our footage. And then Sam Hyde puts out his stuff, and then he's like, well, maybe I should put mine out then as well. And then he puts his out, and everybody hates it.
It was so funny.
I think that was the
I think
moment.
that's the only time in my life I've ever seen Sam Hyde be like genuine.
Oh yeah, because like I mean, like here's the thing: he's semi-genuine when he's talking about the parts of the documentary, just saying, "Oh yeah, this is what we all did, this is what we went through," and that's where you can kind of like half get some of him. But during the documentary, like, okay, my favorite part is that he hired a woman to be his girlfriend that pretended that he was abusing her and that she shaved her head, and I was like, this is some method acting that you don't get from many people.
Yeah.
Oh, the gaslighting doc was the single funniest thing Sam did. It was. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh,
it was very
man.
funny the whole way through.
I like how he's like, convince the security guy to talk to Ian and ask for rent money. Like the entire, like when Ian comes in, he's expecting to see a washed up comedian. And what he finds is the guy like, oh no, yeah, we're just doing rap stuff right now. And the funniest part that I was actually, damn it, I can't believe he kept this in, is he starts playing copywritten Drake music all over, so Ian couldn't use any of the footage from it. They're just playing that music, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Because I would totally do that too. Oh.
I think it's really interesting when you see like one of those more edgy creators who never seem to take anything seriously, but they have like a moment where like the real them comes out for a minute.
Yep.
For Sam Hyde, it was that moment with iDubbbz where he apologized.
Yep.
And then another huge one for me was a bit more like lively. But have you ever watched the Medicare video Bathtub Ross, I think it was?
Which one? Isn't there like multiple parts?
It was the part where he gets really mad at the end.
Yes, I do recall that one. Because like Medicare the entire time he's got some very high morals, but like he mixes
The whole
it
time
in.
he's joking it, he's making fun of it. And then he gets to the end of like the Bathtub Ross saga where he talks about like the court or him getting arrested. And it's a genuine like anger you don't really hear out of him any other time.
No, yeah. And it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, like the whole way through, there's no joke, there's no pun, there's no meme. He's just genuinely mad.
Yep.
Well, then there's also the time at the end of the one on Terry Davis where there's like genuine compassion there. Where he's like, yeah, no, it really sucks that it happened to this guy because he could have been famous one day.
Yeah.
A moment of clarity and a mind of madness.
Yeah.
It is just interesting, like, for those kind of creators to hear that that one section of being genuine, because it's like you're watching a whole different person almost.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about? We're talking about my weird autistic obsessions.
What's she rummaging around?
Like, I know this is something that a lot of people don't care about. They want to see their funny man do the funny thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the semi-character analysis of when they change.
We need to do a podcast episode about that.
I don't know if I'd have enough people to talk about. It's really just Medicare and Sam Hyde in my head.
Fair
I mean, there's
enough.
definitely more, but those are the two where like the facade broke genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, like we all know, like especially comedians put on a facade.
Mhm.
It's just they always have. It's part of their gimmick. I think you see it a lot with VTubers though, because they're not as used to it and they're not as used to the pressure a lot of the times.
Especially the indie ones.
Yeah, so ones that like really get pushed into all the idol shit, you see them break down a lot.
Yeah.
Your kind of no place.
Good miss.
Thanks. You kind of like swalked back just enough.
I know I would survive an apocalypse. Maybe.
I would too. I've got enough heat on me. I would turn to cannibalism. No, chat, no.
You're probably gonna get
Cannibalism.
sick from it.
As long as you don't go for the brain, I've heard that you're probably going to be okay.
It depends. Like they've talked about like how a real zombie virus would act, and there was a lot of stuff that could screw you up, right?
Mhm.
So like you wouldn't want to get their blood on you to start with. After you killed them, if they were near like your base camp, you'd need to drag them away somewhere. You wouldn't want them nearby. You definitely wouldn't want to get bit or get any of their fluids like in your body at all.
Mhm.
Um.
Am I playing regular Skyrim? Yes.
The thing is, though, like, a lot of times it just wouldn't affect you. Like a zombie virus would be dealt with like within like a week, right?
Mhm.
Because just the military would shred them. Even just people with like regular guns would probably shred them. And then after like a month or so of the corpses just rotting, most of them probably can't walk anymore. Like the bodies have probably deteriorated to the point that they just can't even move.
28 days later logic. Wasn't that the one where the zombies were like climbing the wall or something? Because I know there was one that was
No.
like,
That was World War Z.
it was World War Z? Because I know there was one where somebody said that it was like pretty accurate to what it could be.
World War Z horrified me.
Oh yeah, I never watched it, but I saw clips of it and I was just like, ugh. Ugh.
I like how the movie ends because the guy gave himself AIDS.
They have gay sex or something?
No, so they find out that the zombies will intentionally ignore people that have like fatal diseases.
Because they can't spread that way.
Yeah, so the virus intentionally just ignores anything that has a fatal, it senses has a fatal disease because it sees it as like useless to try and spread to them. So the guy injects himself with like AIDS or some shit. I forget exactly what it
He
was.
puts HIV in his system. That's insane.
And then that, because the zombies are breaking down the door trying to get to him, and he just now finds out this information about the if you're sick they leave you alone thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he
I Am
injects himself
Legend
with
is
a deadly
kinda similar
disease.
That way too.
Huh?
I Am Legend is kind of similar in that regard too.
Zombies would have to be seriously unseen for a year to create horrible impact, pretty much. It depends, realistically. I think one of the best examples I ever saw of zombies was, it was a virus, like it always is, but it basically makes the people more animalistic, and it turns off all the receptors in the brain that would make them worried about like breaking bones and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they do anything, they put like all their power behind it, because their brain, that part of their brain is dead and they don't know any better.
That's just. Excuse me.
AIDS ex machina.
I mean, like,
Here, now that I'm thinking about it, chat, I'm gonna look it up about what exactly he injected himself with.
if you had to have a fatal disease to avoid having zombies come after you, what would you put in your system?
He injects himself with an unknown strain of a terminal but curable illness.
Man, that just makes it sound so safe. I want him to be injected with something that will kill him eventually.
Oh, I was partially incorrect. He doesn't do this because he finds out that they will not attack people with a deadly disease. He thinks that's a possible explanation for something he saw earlier in the movie, so he decides to test it out by injecting himself with a terminal but curable illness.
Mm-hmm. Give me AIDS to avoid zombies.
Let me know if there...
Chat, I know people are gonna like mess with me about saying this. One of my favorite depictions of zombies is from a movie called Warm Bodies.
Anything else you need?
Isn't that like the Valentine's Day like love story one?
It is.
I'm not familiar.
I remember that movie. That movie was garbage.
The movie is garbage, yes, but they actually do have a fairly interesting depiction of zombies. So the premise is this zombie falls in love with a real human girl, and basically her love turns him human again. It's that kind of shit.
Yeah, it was.
But in the movie, when you're a zombie for long enough and your body deteriorates enough, you become what they call a bony. And they're basically just muscle and bone barely held together. And they're way more aggressive and way more destructive than a regular zombie. And I kind of just like the concept of bonies. Because a lot of zombie movies ignore that, like, the body has to deteriorate eventually.
Well, yeah, of course. You like the realism aspect of it, then?
Yeah, I like that they added, like, an after to the zombies. Like, after you've been a zombie for so long, you just become a bony man.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, that's the funny necromancer one.
She does fuck the zombie.
Reminds me of a Simpsons episode where Lisa's married to Milhouse, and Milhouse becomes a zombie, and he becomes more assertive as a zombie, and she's like, oh, he can stay a zombie if he's going to be more assertive. And it's just like, that's kind of dumb. Oh, I think that was one of the episodes where they pretend to tell the future, because they do that every single season, it feels like. How did you deal with daylight savings?
I didn't. I never do.
Fair enough. It was one of the reasons.
I went to bed last night, and it was like, it's 1 a.m. This is fine. And I looked at the phone again, and it's like, oh, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Here.
What's funny? Oh, go
I'll
ahead.
send this to both of you, but this is just what the bonies were.
Oh, I don't know what they were.
Oh, fair. I found them very interesting.
Thank you, Steam, for freaking out on my phone.
No. Honestly, I think World War Z may have been the movie that really turned me off of zombie movies and really made me really hate horror.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I watched it when I was younger, and that movie scared the shit out of me.
That goat
Oh,
had
don't
bunch
be a
of gold in it.
baby.
World War Z movie is funny because it had a segment where Israel-Palestine, due to the zombies, banded together to put aside their differences and sing in harmony, which aggravates the zombies to climb the wall.
Yeah, that was a scene.
That's hilarious.
Keep an eye out
I remember that very distinctively.
That is hilarious. Ever wonder why we're here? All the time.
Just to die.
I'm here to laugh at people, make them upset, and then die once my quota has been fulfilled.
What was the first, like, horror movie you can remember watching? Because I remember
see.
mine very distinctly. Is my parents had gotten a new movie, and I wanted to watch it with them, but they said, like, it was an adult movie, and I could not. But the way my house was shaped at the time was... there was like my brother's room and my room faced each other in this very, very tiny hallway.
Yeah.
And directly beside it was the recliner. So, and you could see the TV from the corner of the recliner in the wall.
Yeah.
But you couldn't see us, like our little hallway, if you were sitting on the couch because it was a little further ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents were on the couch watching it, and I got in between the recliner and the wall afterwards, so I could sneak in and watch it.
Yeah.
And it was a movie called Pitch Black.
Okay.
And watching it as an adult, it's not that scary. But as a child, I was horrified of these little demon bat things coming and kidnapping me from the forest at night.
Oh, goodness.
I can't remember how old I was. I had to be super young. But those things, like, stuck with me.
I'm trying to think. I guess when I was a kid, there was a movie about aliens invading Earth. I can't remember the name, but it was like, it terrified me. And I think what terrified me the most is like the aliens came in ships that looked like light poles. And I always was just terrified of light poles after that. I can't remember the movie, but like it was just like there was a scene where like the ship had like it looked like the top of a light pole, and I was just like always looking at light poles differently as a kid. I was like, oh no.
It wasn't a movie for me. I forget the game. We had a power outage one night, and we decided to go take like a 45-minute drive to where there was power. Screw it, why not? It was like what, 9, maybe 10 p.m. at night, and I was 7, maybe 8, and there was an arcade game at this Mountain Mike's. And I didn't realize when I was younger, but playing this game, it was aliens abducting humans.
Yeah.
But because I didn't realize it because I was young enough, I thought the aliens were turning the humans into other aliens.
See, now, as an adult, you recognize that that could potentially be hot, but...
Things change. Back then, the amount of nightmares I had, I lost so many nights of sleep having nightmares about that.
Yeah. The spaceships have a weird light pole protrusion. Yes. Yes, the people are saying it's called War of Worlds.
Yeah, that sounds like War of the Worlds.
You are a youngster to be a kid with pitch black.
Well, maybe I am. When did Pitch Black come out? It came out in 2000. I can still be an old man. That's 25
Holy
years
shit,
ago.
That was 25 years ago. Oh, I'm not gonna say what age I was, but I was. Oh.
I don't know.
There's plenty of space for me to be an old man. I could have been 10 years old. That would have made me 35. Which in VTuber terms, that is an ancient person.
Nice. I forgot you have to run past the troll. You can't kill him. At least not yet.
You're a kid still.
In VTuber terms, I'm about to die.
Oh.
All right, well, time to graduate, Mizu.
You're about to hit your graduation.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm about to graduate. In femboy terms, I've been dead for many years.
I don't know. You still look
One
just fine to
wrinkle.
me.
One
My
wrinkle
twink-
means dead.
My twink death was long ago.
Oh, Akko just got bitch smacked by a troll.
Yeah, I saw that.
did.
Akko missed the days of the giant space program.
The what?
Ever play War of the Monsters for PS2? Was that a Godzilla thing?
No, I have not.
War of the Monsters. It looks vaguely familiar to me, but I did not. I would have remembered it. I might have played it as like on one of those demo discs. I've talked about this before, chat. I grew up very poor, so a lot of my PlayStation games were those Game Jam demo discs that came from like magazines. You guys have no idea how many times I played the same level on Jack Racing.
Did you get really good at it?
I got really good at it, yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about that tonight. I completely forgot about that.
About what?
Death Stranding 2.
Eh.
Death Stranding 2. What about it?
Oh, the fact that Deborah Wilson is yet in another godforsaken
Oh.
project.
Right.
For those who missed it earlier, I called her the bald black lady with protruding eyeballs.
Very mean.
You could have just
And
said
yet-
Will Smith's wife.
Yeah,
Very
that would have
mean.
also worked. Because, damn, she ugly. I'm sorry.
Damn, that's mean. Was that
I'm not saying it, it's Temp.
was that really the only thing with Death Stranding, or did they?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the only thing people are talking about is her.
Fair enough.
Because she's in yet another project.
She's in everything. It's like Zendaya.
She's in everything right now. Yep.
Although Zendaya hasn't been in a video game yet.
Not yet. Give it time. Give it time.
Hmm. I remember this being a longer climb. She must be cheap to hire if she's everywhere. Maybe. Oh, speaking of cheap to hire, Mizu, did you see that Genshin's VAs are fighting amongst each other, the union and non-union ones?
Good. We're talking about the English ones, right?
Yes.
Good.
Basically, the VA for Paimon is fighting with the VA for Himiko, because...
Are they gonna get mad at her again and make her shut up again? Or are they
I
just gonna
hope
fire
so.
her this time?
I hope so, because the VA for Paimon is union, and she's trying to get... She's going after the Himiko one because the Himiko one is not union, and they're trying to get the MiHoYo people to sign in a deal that would force everybody that's not union to quit.
Yeah, that's not gonna work out for them.
Dragonborn appears at this moment.
No, this is if she's still there from the first time, this is not the second or even third time the Paimon VA has been in controversy.
First, let us see if you
They had to force her to shut up, or they told her they'd fire her when she was yelling at everybody, saying that Paimon was emergency Onahole.
Uh-huh.
we are the Greybeards.
I remember that. She was like really upset by it, if I remember correctly.
Here
Yeah.
we commune with the
She also got really mad because she got mad people kept calling Paimon a she.
will do our
She says Paimon is non-binary because I'm non-binary.
that is for you to discover.
Oh,
not your decision to make.
That's right. People were saying that that people weren't using her proper pronouns, and I was just sitting here like, isn't she a woman? I
And
guess I'm uber bigoted.
because Genshin was made in China, they don't follow that rhetoric there.
You are, but
Well, even then, they basically just told her, like, look, you're here to do a voice, you're making us look bad, shut the fuck up.
I wish Square would have done that with Woklamat's actor.
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, I think they did. Probably internally and very quietly.
your dragon blood gives you an
Venti is Terra Strong. Really?
Yeah.
All shouts are made up of 3 words of power.
No.
As you
Wait, no. Venti is hold on. No, hold on.
There's no way that Terra Strong
No.
voiced another
Venti
twink.
is not that. Venti is Erica Harlacher. For those who don't know, she voiced On in Persona 5.
combine it
Um,
force to focus your thumb.
What's other things that I know I can relate to this? She was Venti, Kyrie in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I can't find any credits for Terra Strong under Genshin Impact.
Yeah, Erica Harlacher is Venti. Decent actor. Mildly annoying sometimes, depending on what the role she's doing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
not saying Terra Strong isn't in Genshin Impact, but when you search her up, there is literally nothing comes up other than people thinking
Did she
she was
voice-
Paimon and thinking she was Amber. But we
Did
know
she
she's
voice
not.
Kyoko? Oh, she was
don't
the
know.
voice of Adele in Super.
I'm-
Yeah, she voiced Kyoko in Danganronpa. Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of tired of all of these voice actors, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, like, they... I don't know. I
The
don't
one
want...
for the Amazing World of Gumball is pretty cool.
Well, that one's different. That one's a different oddity.
He's pretty based.
He's pretty funny is what he is.
Oh, well, I wanted to play that game. I guess I'm gonna wait for a sale then. Ugh.
The dev of Guilty Gear Bent, that was forever ago. That was
Apparently-
a discussion today, by the way.
Apparently, Paimon's voice actor voices a couple characters in Visions of Mana. Ew.
Probably, yeah.
No, she does. I'm actually looking at it right
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait, she was in Madoka Magica?
I like Japanese VA, so that's fine with me.
It
It's fucking
looks like
fine.
she was in one of the movies.
People have been discussing Guilty Gear today because today and the other day, because
Oh, yeah.
somebody posted a picture of Elfit and they were like, media literacy check, how do you feel about her redesign? Have you ever seen Elfit, Akko?
Yeah, I know. She's the one that's like all crazy about marriage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I know who she is. I know that
That
they
used to
redesigned
wear
her.
wedding outfits.
Yeah, they redesigned her and now everybody hates her.
Yeah, she looks like a generic idol girl.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I said this to the person I was replying to, but like as somebody who has only played like a couple Guilty Gear games, but knew of Elfit heavily from cameos in other games like Epic 7,
Uh-huh.
when they announced Elfit and I did not see like the name, I just saw the picture of her, I assumed it was an older Guilty Gear character I had just never seen before. Because it is just that different and that completely unrelated.
Man,
Like
that's
at no
crazy.
point does it look like her at all.
Yeah, I seem to recall that. Yeah.
It's just not her, like at all.
All right. Chat, I think I'm going to call it here.
You done?
We're hitting close to the 4-hour marker. What's up with you?
I'm hitting close to 3 hours. What do you mean? Oh,
Yeah,
wait, my
because your
stream
stream
restarted.
died.
That's right, my stream died.
Your stream died. Mine didn't.
Yeah, my chat told me about that. They said they were watching you and your stream exploded.
Yeah, it did. Like, Restream refused to authenticate and I had to restart OBS.
You just choked and died. Yeah. I mean, if you want to keep going, we can keep going. But
I mean, you can be done
It
if you'd
sound-
like.
it sounds like you're winding down.
I'm just done with Skyrim for right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done. Okay. Well, I mean, we keep going. I'm okay with that.
Hmm. So, Mizu, what weapon are you gonna do in Monster Hunter Wilds?
I had already played up to the first meeting with Arkveld. I was gonna do heavy bowgun, but they made it not fun.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody sent me a link that you can still sort of play it in a fun way if you only ride your mount while you're doing it. I don't find that fun.
I mean, I can see the appeal behind that, though.
I see the appeal behind it, and it definitely, like, from what I've seen, makes the game just a lot easier because you get all the damage of spread and all the movement speed of your mount without ever having to get off.
The recoil.
Mm-hmm.
The recoil or having to put yourself in danger.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same, I don't like that. My big complaints were, I don't like that spread has massive recoil and we don't have a recoil reduction anymore as a skill. I don't like that the max or the minimum range for pierce has been so increased. Like, it's ridiculously high now. You have to be a mile away for pierce ammo to be in sweet spot range. They changed the sweet spot range ability, so now it only increases the maximum distance. It no longer increases the minimum distance. So no matter what, you've got to be a mile away to use pierce ammo. And Wyvern Piercer, which used to be super cool, where you'd go prone on the ground and you'd shoot a line down the monster, and then there's a huge, big, delayed explosion. They removed that, and now it's just like a better pierce shot, which admittedly is better for damage, but it's not fun, right? They killed what made that shot cool, so now it's just like a boring damage boost.
Interesting.
What, in your opinion, makes HBG bad in Wilds? The stuff I just said mostly. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's not fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's still really good. Like, especially if you do the mount riding thing. It's my understanding it's one of the higher DPS abilities if you do that. It's just not fun anymore.
Right.
And they took away, like, because in both Rise and World, there were so many like skills and abilities you could put on them. It made them so fun to play because you could play them in all these ridiculous different ways. And now you're kind of expected to do a little bit of everything with a heavy bow gun, no matter which one you picked. And it just makes it a lot less fun, even if it does make it more consistent DPS wise. Like what I said on my tweet when I complained about it was it is definitely more balanced now, and it is definitely in a more consistent DPS place, but that takes away all the fun that it had. They just made it a not fun weapon to use. So I was trying Hunting Horn. I kind of liked Hunting Horn. I like Bonk.
Bonk is good.
I bonk and I honk.
I ended up using the dual blades. Dual blades are insane.
Yeah, Temp said that dual blades are like the new meta, apparently.
The game, the hunting or heavy bowgun was enjoyable for you. I really liked it in Rise. It was good in World too, though.
Heavy bowgun's basically been good in every game.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean like what he said. What game makes it enjoyable? I think Rise made it super enjoyable with the combos you could do with Wirebug and with the like knuckle down counter thing they added with it. Both of those made it really fun to play with, and it made it a lot less dangerous to use at close range. So it made spread a lot more fun to use.
yeah.
And like Chad's saying, it is a very good weapon, and it is very easy to use now. But they removed a lot of the stuff I thought made it fun and creative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's a bad weapon. It's a fantastic weapon. It's just not fun. So I was trying Switch Axe. It's kind of iffy for me. Switch Axe or Switchblade, whatever you call it. I like some parts of it, but I don't like the whole, what do you call it, rotation you're supposed to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that, honestly. But I've been playing Switch Axe primarily in World.
How do you feel about the strange aim down sights with weapons? I actually am a raging degenerate, and I play Monster Hunter World with mouse and keyboard, so it literally doesn't affect me.
Really quickly. Lowbird, thank you for the 100 bits. Found a mom through the YouTube algorithm. Glad she has late night stream, so I have some good background banter to listen to. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy it. I've had a lot of people tell me that, so I'm glad that I stream at the time I do.
Yeah. Somebody in chat mentioned Gunlance. My friend is going to teach me to play Gunlance.
Okay.
And I'm going to try it.
So, one of my Akka's friends, Dom, doesn't play Gunlance, but he's been telling me that specifically the Arc-Veld variant of Gunlance is ridiculously strong.
That's a possibility, yeah. I think my I'm gonna end up going with Gunlance and Hunting Horn. I like buffing with Hunting Horn, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've come to a point where I'm now running two sets of dual blades, one fire, one ice, because then I can rotate like weaknesses.
Yeah. I'm also considering looking back into Sword and Board and seeing if I can still do the crazy mounting build I did in World.
Sword and Shield are actually ridiculously dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In World, I did a total mounting build set, and then I would only use the combo where the Sword and Board jumps in the air and smashes down so I could get mount damage. I got more mounts with Sword and Board than a lot of Kinset Glaive users.
What's funny is Malice, this is his first proper Monster Hunter game. And he started playing Insect Glaive in World, but then he's like, well, I'm not going to play World because Wilds is coming out. And then started playing Insect Glaive in Wilds, and he's like, I don't like this. And he's been playing Longsword since.
Fair. I'm going to probably end up trying all of them.
Yeah. Richard, thank you for the 2. Hope for a nerf to the wound system in the future. A lot of people seem to want a nerf to that system.
Wound system's a little strong.
It stacks very quickly. So
Yeah,
as long as
it
you're
does.
hitting the wounds, you're like ripping through monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed it because, like I said, I play I've been playing heavy bowgun, and the thing is, the entire time you're using heavy bowgun, you can see all the wounds. Like, unlike the other weapons where you have to hold a key for it, with the bowguns, you always see them. So I'm just constantly breaking them.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'll miss if I swap off heavy bowgun is the easy wound breaks. Get rid of the stuns on wounds. That would probably help it.
I played Hammer the entire time.
I'm not even surprised.
I refused to play anything else, and I
Akko
enjoyed
bonk.
it. Yeah, the bonk was great. Do you know how many times I stunned the monsters just by bonking them on the face?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the point.
but I have a question for you, Akko. Would you like to bonk, or would you like to bonk to sick beats while buffing everyone around
I
you?
don't care about buffing other people. I just care about, do I do less damage with the horn?
No, they're about the same, actually.
Nah, I don't care about buffing other people. I just like to bonk.
Akko, selfish DPS.
Exactly. I am the selfish DPS.
See, when I see a hunting horn player, I'm like, ooh, free buffs.
Yeah, I've gotten really good about keeping all my buffs up. I just have to learn the I forget what they call it, but it's like the off note thing that you do for your big combo at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It has a specific name for it. And then I just have to learn like some of the combos. I was actually really happy because the hunting horn I have right now has inbuilt earplugs for the buff.
You use the paralysis bonk. Akko, I don't know what Akko uses because Akko has not finished much of high rank.
I just
Akko
use the
is
highest damage weapon because you told me to go for high damage, and that's what I'm doing.
I mean, you do that at the start, but once you're like
Yeah.
at high rank, everything's about the same damage. You're looking for like differences in what they do.
And like weaknesses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I have not chosen it. I guess I need to make every single hammer then.
I would make
yeah.
down the whole list of the highest tier ones just for the fun of it,
Mhm.
because I did that
So-
with heavy bowgun.
It does depend because we now have Ardian weapons. And Ardian
Some
weapons
just suck.
are great because Ardian weapons are basically self-made and you can change it however you like. And if you need a specific thing, you could just craft that and then you have it. And yeah, Ardian weapons are a little dumb.
I'll have to look into them.
A little ugly depending on which one you use. Like the dual blades is just disc.
Yeah. Like I've not played since I beat the Arc-Veld just because it was like the lag was getting so ridiculous.
I believe it.
Yeah.
But my card comes tomorrow. It should be here when I get home from work, so we might be like a little delayed starting movie night, but
Hey, that's totally fine.
it should be fine.
That is totally fine. We're continuing that anime.
Yes, Log
Okay.
Horizon.
Yep. That one.
Log Horizon.
We could continue Log Horizon, or somebody reminded me that there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in 2007 that I thought was great.
Wasn't that the year that we got the Michael Bay TMNT movie, or no?
No. I don't know when the Michael Bay one was. Michael Bay TMNT. That was 2014. That was 7 years later.
Okay.
No, this was a TMNT 2007. It didn't even have Shredder in it. It was a great movie.
The only TMNT movies I can think of are the original, like the original live action ones, and the Batman one.
I would have Akko share this with chat, but she can't.
Oh, I
because
can now.
They play Black Betty in the background.
Oh, I was gonna say if it was a picture, I can show pictures now since I'm not playing Skyrim.
Yeah, no, it was a video, but they play Black Betty in the background, so it definitely get claimed.
I am unfamiliar with Black Betty.
I'll
Black
send it to
Betty.
you later.
Oh, that one.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm
That
familiar.
you had to hear the tune, and you're like,
I didn't realize till like I rewatched some of the clips from it today after somebody mentioned it, but it's kind of like Evangelion-esque, and that it's got these different monsters coming through, and they're trying to capture like all 12 of them.
What is?
This TMNT movie.
Mm,
It's a very complicated plot, like just trying to list it off the top of my head.
Hey, you know what? I'll be down for whatever you want to watch tomorrow. You know me.
It's a fun, like weird autistic thing I like.
Yeah.
I don't even like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just like this movie. And it had a video game that came with it. I played the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Akko, I just got recommended a short of yours.
Which one?
I'm gonna send it to you.
Is it the skeleton one? That's the one when people
No.
tell me they get recommended the most.
Nope. It's this is what a grifter looks like.
Oh, that one. It was back when I was still doing silent shorts as a training exercise.
And when you had the more squeaky voice.
Yeah.
You hadn't refined the voice yet.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm glad how it is now. It seems like everybody else does too. Thank you for saying esque and not coded. Well, saying coded is retarded in my personal opinion. Oh. Since we're talking about random stuff, I found obviously when fans make AI art, I'm always curious where the model comes from. Because whenever I see something decent, I'm like, I want to save that so that I can pay an artist to draw for real one day. And I saw somebody do some really good AI art of Lumi, and I was like, hey, what's the model for that? And they gave it to me, and I've been having fun creating ideas. Temp has seen some of those ideas.
The ideas
Yeah,
you've sent me.
I can't remember. Did I send you one? Let me look.
Akko's been sending me a lot of stuff.
I did send you one, yeah. I did.
You did.
I did. It was very Hugo Boss-esque. What did you think of that?
It was fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find a good pose for it, because one day I do want to get all of us in. I want to do it the right way, all right? And not go out, not like be flamboyant, but actually just say, oh, I want some Hugo Boss outfit. You know, because that's the right way to do it. But I was looking for some poses. I get spammed the Eva short. Well, that one's really good too. That was one of my favorite ones. That's what's funny is because of that short, if you search Eva up on YouTube, I am one of the first results that comes up. And that's mostly just because it's the only thing that directly mentions her, and because she's still a newer creator. Once she gets more content thrown out there, she'll show up, you know.
Speaking of Genshin, I've been playing the game recently. Noticed the English VAs wasn't voiced in some of the newer events. I don't remember the events in Genshin being voiced.
The limited time
I think
ones?
some of them are.
I think in the beginning, some of the limited time ones were not. But, like, then that shifted as they made more money.
Yeah.
But now, dude, I would not be surprised if they just get rid of a lot of the VAs from the the union entirely. What do you think about that, Mizu? Do you think that they'll get rid of them?
Eventually. They've threatened it a couple times. We're talking about the voice actors, right?
Yep, the voice actors from the voice actors unions.
Yeah, like I think eventually they are just going to get rid of them, and I don't even think it's going to have anything to do with the union. It's just because they've constantly been nothing but problems.
Yeah,
Like, it's not like this is just. Some people think like this is the one issue they've had with them. No, like the English voice actors, they've had nothing but constant problems from them. This is just one more thing to add on to like the pile.
well, wasn't a couple of them sex pests? One of them's a predator.
That's a possibility.
That's what I recall.
Yes. No, yeah. It was okay, hold on. God. I know what you're talking about. It's
I appreciate you, Tim, for remembering, because I definitely didn't.
I know. It's a Sumeru one. Tenari.
Oh yeah, the Tenari one was like a predator.
Yeah.
Man, that was weird.
I should probably get up and make food eventually.
Eventually.
My dog wants to go out. I will be right back.
I would have normally made it already, but I was I thought this demonologist thing was gonna happen. So
You know, I'm sorry that happened.
it's fine. I will survive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I'm not gonna reveal it. I haven't said it. Do you want to see the new Yippee?
Sure.
All right, it's a surprise for chat. So chat, you're gonna have to be surprised here. But I had a new Yippee done for Friday, and then I added an extra little bit on it. We need to get you a Yippee. They're only like $10.
Wow. I thought I had a Yippee.
I thought you did. I know that Lumi does.
Here, let me look through my Mizu folder.
VAs need to learn to shut up and do their job. A lot of people need to learn to shut up and do their job. The world would be great if that were just the case. That's why I don't talk at my job. Like when I deliver to people, when I worked for Amazon, I just didn't talk to any of them. Now at my new job, I don't talk to anybody as much as I can either. But when I worked for Amazon, I didn't talk as much as I could. I talked if I was spoken to, but otherwise it's just like zipped it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a Yippee. I just don't know where it is.
Like from the same artist too?
Yes. As a complete side note, would you like to see some art that Royan got of us recently?
I would love to. Is it say so or not say so?
It does not say so.
I does not say so at all. When the bulge is like right there out in the open, yeah.
He's good looking though.
Oh, it 100% is. I agree.
Royan always gets this art from this artist.
They're good artists.
They have like this really cute, soft style.
Pastel colors.
Yeah, I think they would make really good stickers.
Oh, I definitely agree with that.
Cause where is my favorite one they did that I was like 100%? This is like sticker. Not this one, but this is one of the ones that I thought would make a good sticker.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Where is it? Oh, here it is. This one, because like you would have to clean up the background a little bit because stickers wouldn't handle like the paint look very well.
Yeah.
But if you smoothed it out a little bit, it'd be like a perfect sticker.
A good summer sticker, yeah.
Yeah. I also need to. I can reshare these at some point, I think, because they did kind of draw me like really soft and small. So I think it still fits with like Mizu.
It does. It does. It does. Really, just the middle one is kind of like the tallest looking one.
Yeah. I really like this one because I loved Mega Man.
You liked Mega Man a lot?
Oh yeah, I still love Mega
When
Man. I
is
think
Yeah.
Mega Man's
that
great.
starting?
You and my nemesis both really loved Mega Man.
It's good.
I like Mega Man too. I just have never been able to get into it and finish it. I think the closest I ever got to beating a Mega Man game was like
Okay.
Mega Man 8.
Skill issue.
Spring.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I sucked at it, so.
Looks like the the Steam Spring sale starts on the 13th.
Based.
Oh, but what about the Steam sale where we're just talking about women? Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
No.
There was
Yeah,
like
I
a
saw
Steam
that.
sale where it was like all about women.
It's still going on right now, actually.
Oh, really?
It's still going.
If I was a game dev, I would put like a porn hentai game on sale for that. I'd be like, it's women's empowerment. She's getting gangbanged by like 30 guys.
It's a.
It is definitely empowerment.
It's a game said to be a retelling of a true story, and you're playing as the chick who got banged by 1,000 guys.
Yeah. It's female empowerment.
Exactly.
She's reclaiming her sexuality.
Oh my gosh.
Did you hear that she said that she might be pregnant? And it's like, no shit.
Oh, Temp, here was the new anime Dark Souls I saw the other day.
If that woman is pregnant, I don't know what she's gonna do.
It's gonna come out as like some. It's gonna sound very racist, chat, but bear with me. It's like that child's gonna come out as some like weird black Asian Mexican baby.
There's gonna be some white in there too, you know.
Actually, Akko, would you like to show chat this this game I was talking about?
Yeah, we can do that here.
It looks interesting.
AI limit, you said?
Yeah, AI limit. I just look up like the trailer for it, I guess.
We can do that. That is definitely along the lines of tonight, so.
See if chat would be interested.
Oh, the demo's free. Here, I'll stream it for you guys.
You sure your connection can handle it?
My connection, I don't understand why my connection keeps dying the way it is. It's probably because it's getting close to the money for the thing being due, but I don't understand it. Not whatsoever. Here, I'm gonna pause my music.
Don't forget to show the stream, people.
All right. Thank you for reminding me.
We're just gonna sit here and watch it by ourselves. Fuck all you guys.
Yeah, let's see if I can bring it up.
What is it playing through? Oh, does it not have audio?
No, you have it muted. I
No,
think.
no, I don't.
Oh, are you not gonna? Oh no, that's Steam.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
dumb.
not playing the audio.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Oh. Eh. Eh.
It reminds me of Code Vein.
Yeah.
I guess the question is whether it would be as choppy as Code Vein.
Code Vein
My
was
problem-
great.
Oh, Code Vein was
is the
great.
FOV.
Code Vein was great. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's just going from Code Vein to another Dark Souls game, you feel like there's a difference in how they decided to code the attacking system.
Oh, absolutely.
This one I think is a lot more Dark Soulsy.
Ooh. Very Metropolis feeling with that view.
It's actually not that expensive.
AI limit, yes. When does it come out?
March 27th.
Like 2 weeks-ish. 2-3 weeks.
And it's only like $32.
Yeah. To be fair, it's 10% off if you pre-order.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think more games need to do that as like a pre-order thing. If you're gonna do pre-orders, like give me like a little discount.
You'll get more people, I think.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Okay, it's like if Code Vein and Liza P had a weird child.
Oh, there's a deluxe edition. Look at that, chat. If you get the deluxe edition, if you pre-order, you get a maid outfit. Oh man, that's worth it alone.
But I will say, chat, this is being made by a company that, as far as I can tell, at least on Steam, has no other game to their name.
Oh, Jazz says he's played the demo.
Did you like it?
He says that if we want, we can have him talk about it for a few minutes.
Oh, it's your stream.
Yeah, I should be fine with that. Jazz, it's in my server. I think you have access.
Here, let me go to this company's webpage, because have they maybe just released games on something other than Steam?
Never mind, he doesn't. I'll let him. Jazz, you have access to enter the channel. I don't know if I have your Fugi set up, though.
Yeah, AI Limit is the only game this company has made.
I don't. I'll have to reset it up. Hello there.
Oh, shit, I do have access. Hey.
Hi.
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing.
Hello.
So I just now tuned into the stream, and I saw, I was like, oh, wait, shit, they're looking at AI Limit. And yes, there is a demo of this. I believe it's also on Steam. I played it on PS5.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
on
it's
Steam.
also on Steam, though.
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
yeah. So I did go through the demo and like the whole thing, and it's pretty good, honestly. It's pretty nice because what they do with the demo of this one is they have you play through like the beginning of the game, at least what I very much assume is the very beginning of the game. And they have you go up until like the first major boss fight, and after you do that, they let you go to a boss challenge area in which you have access to several of the game's armor sets and weapons and spells and all kinds of shit. You just like play with a lot of the stuff the game has to offer. Now, this one's pretty interesting because like you saying it's kind of more like Dark Soulsy, a little more Code Veinish. It doesn't really feel like either of those, to be honest. Oh, uh-oh.
Don't worry, you're still here.
Oh.
I'm
I
still.
saw the string go to 404 and oh yeah, that was intentional.
That
Okay,
was
sorry.
intentional, yeah.
My bad. But yeah, anyway, what was I saying? The game honestly feels a little more Bloodborne-y to me.
That's fair. When I saw of it, and even though I hadn't played it, because I saw a lot of people saying Code Veiny, and I was like, I kind of think you're saying that just because it's anime Dark Souls, which is what Code Vein was. But Code Vein was a lot more focused on like skills and abilities. Like your weapons were still important, but they were ultimately kind of whatever compared to like your abilities and your classes, or your blood codes.
Yeah.
This,
honestly,
from what I saw, looked a lot more weapon and armor focused, like a normal Souls would be.
Absolutely, and I could definitely say that because me and Rosa were doing like a VTuber playthrough of Code Vein recently, and so now I have like a really nice solid ground to stand on for like both games and how they feel and how they differ. And yeah, this definitely feels a little more what I remember like Bloodborne feeling like, right? Because like there's no dodge roll; it's like a quick step, like in Bloodborne, right? And you get a parry that is essentially just the gun parry from Bloodborne without a gun. Like right up to the fact that like when you do it on somebody, you stab them with your hand instead of hitting them with your weapon. It's straight up Bloodborne type shit. Though there are a few different things I found kind of interesting. So there's like a sort of Mega Man-ish thing going on here where not the main boss I fought, but like a mini boss, like a little sub boss, like a weird robot guy. I fought this thing and it used like this fucking laser cannon on me, and I killed it, and then I learned how to do the laser cannon. Like I was able to like turn my hand into a laser cannon. So like it seems like and there's like a thing later on when I was doing the boss challenge thing where I get access to a bunch of other shit. And you get an ability where you can turn both your hands into like rocket launchers and just shoot off a bunch of rockets at home in. So like it seems like there's a thing where a bunch of the bosses are going to be able to give you like new abilities outside of like weapons and spells and whatnot. It's like it's essentially a Mega Man type thing, right?
Uh-huh.
So that was pretty cool.
That does
But I
sound
would
pretty
say
cool.
Yeah, but overall, I'd say the game actually feels pretty smooth, pretty nice. Like this, is, like considering this is coming out of literally nowhere, like you just said, these guys have no other games to their name. Game feels pretty good. This is not bad.
I thought it would be. I've actually had it on my wish list like ever since it popped up the first time.
Yeah, I'd say it's
Even
definitely worth
before
it
they
for
had like a
what?
price.
But like, because this is going for 32, something like that. Yeah, I'd say
It's
definitely worth it for the
$32
price.
right now.
What gets me though, what's really funny about this, and like I don't know if you guys got Kazan on your radar, the first Berserker, the other like upcoming Souls-like thing. Thing is, these two games are coming out on the same day.
Oh,
They're both coming out. They're both dropping on the 28th, and I'm like, fuck.
Here it
I
is.
really
The
want to
first
put both
Berserker
of
is on.
these. I really wanted to put both of these in my schedule, and that also has a demo, by the way. That you
Oh,
can
this
try
is by
out, and-
Nexon. I'm not touching it yet.
Nah.
I'm giving
Oh.
it time. Look,
Wait,
as
why is that?
somebody that plays MommaOcco religiously, if something
Mm-hmm.
has publisher Nexon attached to it, I'm giving it
Mhm.
time.
I
But,
mean,
like,
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I do not trust them.
Out of curiosity, like, what's the logic on that one? I'm curious.
it's Nexon.
Nexon has a very bad habit of, like, when stuff first comes out,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little wonky.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of companies, games typically come out, not lately. Good companies, games typically come out very nice and polished because they have a robust, like, tester team. Nexon isn't so great with the robust tester thing.
Uh,
They're kind of like, we had like 5 people play 10 minutes of it. It's probably good.
That's about right.
fair.
I'll be honest. When what was it? First Descendant came out, there was a lot of stuff where it's just like, hey, can you fix this, please?
Yeah, like, they will fix it eventually. But eventually. Also,
Eventually.
Kazan is like $60, and I could get the deluxe edition of AI Limit, and it's $40. So I'm just
I
saving
guess-
money.
that's totally fair. Though I will say, because Kazan actually also has a demo that you can play on the PS5, and I think also on PC.
Yeah.
And I will say that as far as the demo went, very smooth. Very
Fair.
smooth, no issues at all. So at least for the PS5 version, I imagine it's going to be okay. PC version, I have no idea. Might be another Monster Hunter Wild situation, for all I know. You know, PC's always kind of dodgy these days, but
You know,
I guess we'll wait and
surprisingly, other than having to play Monster Hunter Wilds at 720p on lowest settings with AI
Mhm.
upscaling, it ran fine.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's run
I'm-
fine
I'm-
for me.
Oh, yeah, same.
60. The only time it hasn't run great is when I'm streaming it because I'm running OBS and VTube Studio at the same time.
Yeah.
I know it sounds bad for me with all those qualifiers, but you have to
Mhm.
think I'm running it on a 1060.
I mean, I'm not even
Yeah.
running it on PC, but like, it's moments like this, like if I did get it on PC, that I'm glad that I do like the hybrid thing, because I can just not use my model. I can just use Facecam instead to like free up some CPU there.
Oh, it
I
definitely
have a
will.
PNG that I'll
Oh, yeah,
use
no.
sometimes.
I did the night Wilds came out. I did the test stream to see if I had to use the model or the PNG, and Mo was like, "This is great," but Teb has a slightly better computer than Mizu. I'm sorry, I have a 4070.
Damn. Okay.
Temp bought his computer like 1 to 2 years ago.
September 23, 2023.
Yeah, Jazz, how much do you know about like computer parts?
My knowledge is passable, I suppose. Like I'm aware of like graphics cards and to some extent like power supplies and shit like that. I'm not like super well versed in the topic, though I do know in terms of like Monster Hunter specifically. Just before we get off the topic of that, I have a lot of faith in Capcom and the Monster Hunter team specifically, and I believe it's gonna be all right in like I don't know, a few months or so. Like because the same shit happened when they did World and Rise on PC.
Yep.
Like the exact same shit happened, and they managed to smooth that out in time. So.
I have a feeling a lot of the performance stuff maybe just corporate being like, "Hey, it's time, release it."
And
True.
there's that, and there's like also the Denuvo that's in there that people found, and it's like
It's
Not
running
just
both
Denuvo.
Capcom's internal DRM and Denuvo.
yeah. So it's like that's
Double
obviously gonna
DRMs.
fucking things up a bit, and that's
Yeah.
that might delay the process of smoothing out for
Denuvo
for-
is the problem because both World and Rise have the internal DRM and run perfectly fine on like max
I
settings high, like whatever. But Wilds
Absolutely.
has both.
I will say one thing though, because I know there's some people in there who are like trying to go at the game with like a 1080 or like even a 2080, and it's like, guys, it might you might just have to bite the bullet on
Bite
this
the bullet,
one.
yeah.
This game is really demanding, and it's like I think they're gonna be able to smooth it out for the higher end PCs, but like the 2080 is a 1080.
Well,
I don't
People
know,
are
bros.
getting it to run on the Steam Deck.
Really? I thought the Steam Deck was like completely kaput. Like there was just
People are getting it to run. It is requiring some finagling, but they are getting it to run.
Okay, that's news to me because I'd heard like the Steam Deck version was just fucked completely.
No, and I think that's probably good long term because we were talking about it earlier in the stream, questioning if it would come to the Switch 2, and I think it will.
Okay. I mean, the Switch 2. I mean,
That's
I
just
got
not
to
happening.
I don't think so either.
It's gonna look
unless
like a
they show us
DS
something.
game.
Well, hold on. If the rumors are correct and it has DLSS, because we know Nvidia is working with Nintendo on it, that would change things.
Okay,
Because then it would have the AI upscaling.
Because we got less than a month before the big direct, right? The one that's the big Switch direct in which we see all the shit. So unless they come up with something like crazy, I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's gonna happen.
I don't think it's going to look great. I think it's going to be functional, though. I think it's going to play and at least be, feasible for Switch players to play. Is it going to be probably the worst version? Absolutely. But that is another market they can grab onto, especially because they push DLSS with the game. It's
Hey,
literally in like
Akko.
the notes.
Yeah.
I have another thing for you to show the chat.
Oh,
I don't
dear.
know why I hadn't seen this before.
I would say it'd be kind of funny though, because then like if that's what ends up happening, it'd be the exact reverse of what happened with Rise.
It would.
Where it was stuck on the Switch and then finally made its way to all the other consoles, and now and then while it's on everything else, and finally just hands off a little something to the Switch. Just
What?
Switch 2.
I think what will happen is it won't come to Switch until we're close, if not already out with the expansion. Because by then, they will have smoothed it out.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. I'll show it to you guys as well because Mizu is very
what's going
very interested in this. So
Oh, no.
Hang on, let me.
I did not
the share
know this
screen.
was a thing. This was announced like 5 days ago.
really quickly,
Oh, is this like a new Punch-Out?
Kendra says, "How funny would it be if Nintendo came on
Oh
PC
my god.
with monolith optimization and other companies would scramble to turn into a selling point? If
Oh, yeah,
monolith
no,
came to
but-
PC,
Wait,
then
Baki Punch Out.
Yeah, Baki.
So-
That's fucking wild.
I
Oh
said that
man.
Monolith Soft has done some incredible things with the Switch. Like the Xenoblade 3 specifically has no
Oh, yeah.
right running as well as it does on the Switch.
Yeah, that's just wild. But that's
So
that's exception and not the rule type shit, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
there's a
unbelievable.
reason people are screaming at Nintendo to let Monolith have a go at Pokemon.
My god, if only. Oh man. I just I don't understand how people are, because they showed us what's that new shit called? The Zygarde
ZA, Legend ZA.
yeah.
God, it looks bad.
It does not look great. And it's like, listen, guys, I
Everybody's
we
glazing
we love
saying it's the best thing ever made.
yeah, it's like we love Pokemon and the new rival character's a cute girl, and that's all great and all, but like, holy shit, can we please get off of the PS1 with this shit? Like, come on.
This is
Please.
actively proving a lot of those points, saying like Nintendo's going after Power World. Well, why would you bother after Power World are you afraid of Power World? It's Pokemon. It's one of the best-selling franchises in the world.
Listen, Pokemon needs somebody to fear right now.
And-
That's
and
all.
they do.
God, Pokemon needs someone to fear. It's like what's going on with all these gacha games coming out and like Hoyo starting to sweat, right?
Mhm.
It's like
Maybe.
I need that for Pokemon. I need that for Pokemon. I really do.
Okay, let's watch this.
I'm sorry.
here.
Share it with the people.
I'm curious. Let's see.
It still says please stand by, I think.
Fight as Baki.
Don't worry, I fixed it.
Ah.
I'm still getting
Holy
used to that.
Too deep.
It's fucking Baki.
I really don't like the
literally just punch
bulges.
out Baki.
I
It's
don't like the
amazing.
bulges either.
It's Baki, bro. We gotta have the
Like-
bulges.
Like, yeah, that's like the whole thing about Baki, just uncomfortable amounts of muscle.
Is this
That's like the whole
is this like
point.
an anime?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's the one you'll often see people
Baki
post,
Hanma,
and they'll
Blood
be like,
Arena.
"What the fuck is Baki even about, bro?"
Is
Uh-huh.
it done by the same animation studio as JoJo?
I don't know. All I
I
know is
don't
the
think
main
so.
villain of Baki, or whatever he is, goes and beats up Donald Trump at one point.
Man, Yujiro Hanma is. I don't even know how to explain Yujiro Hanma. Motherfucker is.
I could send you
Something
a
else.
billion clips of Baki, and you'd never be able to guess what it's about.
What is it about?
You would never be able to guess.
Fighting.
That's what I'm
tournament.
asking.
Like, all I know is that like Baki's long-term goal is defeating Yujiro, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like the whole thing. But it's like we go so many other places getting there.
Imagine if we were watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but
Mhm.
the ending boss was always Dio, and the main character was always the original JoJo, and everything else still happened. The whole series still happened, but the entire time we're still following regular JoJo, and he's still trying to get to regular Dio at the end. That's the entire thing, start to finish. But he still goes on all the wacky adventures in between.
I'll be honest. I would kind of love to see that. Like just it's like a rewriting of the entire JoJo mythos, except it's just Jonathan the whole time, and he's like, he's fucking amazing. That'd be
So-
fucking incredible. Oh my
They
god.
even have the prison thing in Baki, so he would even have his prison arc.
I've
Yep. Oh my
never
God,
watched
with Biscuit,
JoJo.
man.
I've never watched JoJo. Can you give me like a 5-minute spiel on it so I can understand?
It's about their last name is like Joestar, right? The Joestar family,
Mhm. Just our family, yes.
and they're constant like shit fit with Dio and a bunch of other people of different kinds.
Is Dio
Also,
like
they
a
have
bad
magical
guy?
powers called stands.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Pyro, thank
Oh,
you
and
for the-
everybody's named after like it's rock music, right? Or it references rock music.
It depends which part you're talking about, right? Because
Okay,
like
fair.
in part 3, where like stands are first introduced, it's all like tarot cards and shit, like Magician Reto and fucking Silver Chariot and all that shit. And then when we get into part 4, which is that's Josuke, right? The fucking Pompadour.
Maybe.
Well, actually, no. Even in part 3, there was a little bit of that because oh god, what was her name? The chick with like the magnetic powers. I think she was literally named after just like an Arby's singing lady. God damn it, what was her name? I think her name was like Mariah Carey
Sorry.
or some shit.
You just said Arby's singing lady, and the only thing I'm thinking about is some woman singing with an Arby's roast beef sandwich in her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. R and B. I did not enunciate
okay.
properly. My bad. But yeah, but like, and then in part 4 is when like the stands start being named after like different musical groups and shit. Like you got Red Hot Chili Pepper and all that shit, and then like Sticky Fingers in fucking part 5 and shit, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's super good.
If you ever are curious, just look up like Yujiro Hanma on YouTube. He is the best way to describe him is he is that guy. If there's a
Interesting.
guy for it, it's that guy. It's Yujiro.
I just like Baki just has some of the most out-of-pocket shit you've ever seen in an anime, man. Like the fucking caveman dude, like they literally unfreeze a caveman fighter on a big ass block of ice, and then like the moment they get this motherfucker around people, and like a reporter lady just walks up and tries to like interview him, he just jumps her, just right then and there in front of everybody, and just starts fucking her. Like what the fuck is
What?
this? Yep. Because he's a fucking caveman, so it's like he doesn't have any kind of decorum or anything, so he just goes at it right there on the spot. Shit's crazy. It's crazy, Akko.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's hard to understand what Baki even is, even when you're watching it.
Oh, I thought we were talking about JoJo.
no,
well,
sorry.
you know what?
Same thing.
Because like, yeah, I think about the Pillar Men. It's like, do they kind of count? Like they weren't in ice; they were in like a weird stone, and they're not really cavemen; they're more like Aztecs. I don't. You know, it does sound like you're talking about the same shit when you talk about these two shows in the same breath, doesn't it?
A little bit. Anyway, it's 2:20. I would like.
Oh, you have work tomorrow, don't you?
I do.
Good night, chat.
Is there
Good night,
anybody
chat.
live still?
It's nice to come in at the end here and hang out for a bit.
For
It was
sure.
fun talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I gotta do this more often.
I didn't know Yujiro killed an elephant.
Here, I'm gonna get my. Oh, no, my YouTube button isn't working. Okay.
Oh, really quickly, Pyro for 5. I apologize. Baki. Oh wait, shoot, where did it go? My super chat disappeared. Baki, where the winner is the one with the strongest schizophrenia. All right, well, I'm gonna send you guys to Hypnotic. Make sure to be nice and say hello.
Okay. Chat, can I send you anywhere?
Oh wait, real quick. I can't remember if it was Akko or Mizu. One of you is also a Monster Hunter, right?
That's me. That's Temp.
What do you mean? We all play it.
Like, we were telling we would all play it, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all three of you play it. Okay, cool. I gotta get your Hunter IDs then, for sure.
I've played 4 Ultimate Rise World and now Wilds.
Same, actually. I also started at 4 Ultimate. But, like, the crazy thing to think about, that was a fucking decade ago, man. Shit.
Yeah, send
I
you to
think that was. We were
wild.
talking earlier about like the first horror movie you ever watched, and I said it was Pitch Black when I was a little kid. And somebody goes, "No, if you watch Pitch Black, you really are a youngin." So I had to look it up. Pitch Black came out in 2000. It's 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I was 7 years old at the time.
The Chronicles of Riddick series started 25 years ago.
Oh, God.
That's... Wow, I don't like that. What the fuck?
Right.
Wait. Like the movie with Vin Diesel, or...
Pitch Black is the first piece of the Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it is.
It introduces Vin Diesel's character
That is
and the world they're in.
Oh,
Chat,
God.
I'm gonna end here as well, chat. You all should go check out my newest video.
Holy shit.
It's about the gamer,
You know, you can
Being-
raid into a video.
super gay. I can't because I'm not a partner
yeah,
or
fuck.
affiliate.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh
Anyway,
my God.
chat, I'll be back on Wednesday. I am streaming with Brain. My brain
Do
turned
it.
off. I'll announce it later in Discord. My brain just stopped
Wait,
working.
shit, am I even friends with...
And I won't be back until Friday with Final Fantasy VI.
I was
Oh, yeah,
16. Stop
okay,
making me feel old. All right, chat. I'll see you guys later. Make sure to join tomorrow for movie night in Mizu's Discord.
Hey.
Have a good night, chat.
Peace.
That too much.